Alrighty, we're back, guys. FSL Day 8. I'm here with Seth. What's up? Let's see. What's up, Seth? Day 8.
What's up? Day 8. Has it been already 8 nights? This is crazy.
Yeah.
Welcome to FSL Season 5. I'm Seth here with KJ Freedom. We have some exciting games for you tonight. But first, let's look back real quick on the last evening, which is this past Wednesday. We had some really exciting games this past Wednesday, right? Started off with Kitty Cat Gamer versus Fenrir. Those were 3 really evenly matched games, right? What did you think about that game going all 3 games?
The Fenrir game?
Yeah, Fenrir and Kitty Cat.
Well, I think Kitty Cat knows what she did wrong on that. She actually had the lead in all of them, and I think she'll be improving there. Fenrir, on the other hand, had a nice strategy where he just kind of macroed up and got ready to push for the win, right? With the upgrades. And so I think Kitty Cat Gamer just was not sure how to deal with that strategy. So.
She just couldn't close out the late game. But if you could really compare Kitty Cat from the previous season to this season, there's night and day, right? She knows how to play the game much better. She just needs to know how to close it out in the late games and proper unit composition. But, if she was there, she just fell short. Looking forward to her future games. And then Mighty Ant just falling short. Hyper Turtle outlasting him 2-0. And then ended up with Instability taking a 2-0 against Hurt in Time. But tonight, we have some pretty exciting matches, right? First one, we have the 2v2 battle of mostly production crew. We have Benzel versus Little Dom. So you have Mizel and Sir Maligant teamed up against Little Dom, which is KJ Freedom here, partnered with Little Reaper. And whenever Little Reaper's playing, it's always exciting. And then followed up with Code A match, which is the battle of the junior and the senior.
Yeah.
All right. We're gonna see. I hold Taren heavily favored there, but you never know. Stu Blue might have something up his sleeve. And then finally, we're gonna end with the most anticipated match so far in Code S. We have Ghost Chant, who looked really impressive last time. And going up against the #1 seed for the past 2 seasons, which is Dark Menace, who hasn't dropped the map yet. So I think that's one of the more exciting matches that we've had so far. So I'm really looking forward to that. So what do you think about these 3 matches, KJ?
So Stu Blue Cyan, heavily favored for Cyan. That's my opinion. And the one I'm playing in, I don't really know for sure. because Denzel just looks a little off. They're better than their record. So we'd have to play much better to upset them. Then Dark Menace Ghost Chant. Dark Menace is my favorite there. I think he's my #1 seed. But Ghost Chant at his peak is higher ranked Dark Menace. It really just depends on.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, right now, Dark Menace is the #1 seed, and he has to be knocked out of that #1 seed, right? For somebody else to take over that. So unless he's knocked out, he's always going to be the favorite in a lot of these regular season matches. You know, that's why we play these games, right? We're going to see where Ghost Chant is and how he fares against, a Zerg, because he's a very solid Taren, so we're going to see that tonight. But we're actually going to be starting off with Code A tonight. We're going to have Cyan versus 2 Blue. We're getting them set up right now. I think they're both in the lobby, and actually we can talk to them. Let's bring them up here. Quick interview for both Cyan and Stu Blue. Gentlemen, how are you doing tonight? Let's start.
I don't see him on the camera just yet, but yeah.
Okay, so while they set up their camera, let's talk with Stu Blue first. Stu Blue, how are you doing? How was your practice this week? And how do you think you'll fare against Cyan tonight? Can you hear us, Stu Blue?
I think they're still setting up. So I'm showing the screen for the standings. We probably talk about that.
Okay, so while they're setting up, they're set up their video and see they get ready. Let's talk about the standings that we have so far, and we talk about Code A first, right? Since this is the Code A we're gonna start off with tonight. Code A right now is being led by Criminal, who's 2-0, who did drop one map, but it's still 2-0, and joined by the Undefeateds. Actually, there's only 2 of them remaining, which is the Archaic, who's 1-0. And so those 2 are leading the pack, and Little Reaper, Hyper Turtle, Cyan, Mighty Ant, all 4 of them are 1-1. So there's a lot of jockeying here for 3rd and 4th place. There's a lot of season games left here, so there's going to be a lot of changes here in the future. But looking at this Code A, Criminal's up there, but who would be your top 4?
Outside of Criminal, I would say Archaic, Hyper Turtle, Cyan should be up there. Little Reaper could knock someone out.
But the one that went the farthest among all Code A's was Deepu last season, so you can't count him out. I know he's 0-2 right now, but he could easily make a run going down the stretch.
Let me say something about that. Deepu, Cyan, Criminal are diamond players that are very weak right now, so they're dropped quite a bit. So that's why they dropped to Code A. So we'd have to consider them.
Yeah, and then we'll see the next game for the Archaic is actually versus Little Reaper. So that's gonna tell us a lot on how this is gonna shake up. But yeah, we have a lot of games remaining, so we're gonna see how this goes through. And if we look at the right below that Code S, right, we have the 2 Undefeateds, Instability and Freedom, and then Neutrophil, who hasn't played yet, so also he would be undefeated since he hasn't lost. But we have a couple of 1-0s. That's one of them is gonna be dropped from the Undefeated as well. So Dark Menace and Ghost Chant. We'll see how that goes.
Well, let me say this, right? Who do you think are the top 4 players there? Because mine would be Dark Menace, Neutrophil, because they came 1-2 last season, right?
Yep.
And then Ghost Chant looks pretty good. Sir Malagat can hurt people. Certain time, I'm not sure in the bubble there. I myself probably be in the bubble unless I improve quite a bit. I don't see Freedom there, even though I'm ranked number 2. I don't see myself beating the Dark Menace and Neutrophils. I haven't won against them in a while. So.
Well, yeah, I mean, we'll see how this shakes up once these Undefeated starts facing off against each other, right? Instability looked really good, although she is her 2-0 and 4-0, but that 2-0 in the beginning of the season was against Sormaligan, and both those games were so close, right? Razor thin.
True.
So she could have gone 0-2 in those games as well. So although she's 2-0, there's still, she didn't win those games convincingly. But it's also to be said, if you win these close games, you're much more prepared than others. But yeah, there's a lot more games. Neutrophil and the Dark Menace, of course, are the top of the pack here until they start slipping up. So we'll see. But yeah, I would have them at the top 2 first, and then we'll see where Ghost Chant is. So tonight's game, Dark Menace and Ghost Chant, really will reveal a lot of things. So we'll talk about 2v2 and Code B later on tonight, but I think both Cyan or Stu Blue are ready. So let's start with Stu Blue again. Stu Blue, are you there? Can you hear us?
Yeah, I hear you.
All right, cool. All right, so question real quick. How has your practice been going this past week, and how do you think you'll fare against Cyan tonight?
I think I'll at least win one. I've been watching some videos on Protoss v Protoss, or Protoss v Protoss, and I've been trying to learn some new bits.
Nice. All right, exciting to see that. KJ, do you have any questions here for Stu Blue?
Stu Blue, how do you think you're gonna do against the original there? Because he's pretty high ranked. His MMR is a lot higher than yours.
I just want to try to beat him one time. Maybe beat him twice. That'd be nice.
There you go.
That'd be nice. All right, so let's talk to Cyan here. Cyan, are you conflicted? Because I know you want to win the game, but at the same time, you want Stu Blue to do well. So which one trumps the other?
Me beating him always trumps.
Okay, I just want to make sure. I want to clarify that. And how has your practice been so far? Yeah, I know people have been busy, but have you been able to get some practices in this week?
Just a few games, nothing special. Still having trouble with a few things, but I should get back on track playing Stu Blue tonight. So
nice. KJ, do you have any questions here?
Cyan, it's just about how much practice this guy has. How much practice you had?
Who, me or Stu?
You're the only Cyan here, right?
Oh, I thought you said it. Yeah.
No,
so I don't get too much practice in with everything because Stu Blue's got football twice a week already. They've already started that up for practice. I've got school twice a week now too, and then of course work, and then the rest of the family life. So it's hard to get on it and get practice in all the time.
Got it.
Yeah, definitely. Things gets hectic nowadays, especially with a lot of these activities starting up. But at least, FSL, the commitment is not very heavy, right? You play once in every 3 weeks or so average. So at least, in that, just a few practices here and there to get yourself ready. But I think both of you are ready to go. KJ, are you joining in the lobby, or we're going to have the observer account going to be in the lobby only?
We're good now. I'm in there.
We're good. All right, so we're good. All right, so before we start, I'm going to wish you guys good luck. Have fun. We'll talk to you guys after the match. All right. Let's get this started.
Okay.
So, I know Stu Blue is heavily an underdog against Cyan, but what would you put in as the Vegas odds on this? Percentage-wise.
80% Cyan.
80% Cyan. Wow. All right.
You are watching FSL Season 5.
Hey, off we go. Starting on the bottom left corner of 2000 atmospheres, the red Protoss.
Cyan.
I think I'm echoing, so go ahead.
Alright, on the top right corner, the blue Protoss. He is
Stu Blue 88.
commentary will be minimal since I seem to be echoing. All good. All
It's
good.
all good. I'm wondering, when the chat said, I'm wondering who the mom is rooting for. All right, so we're gonna have to ask the mom sometime
Wow.
in these games who she would be rooting for. But yeah, I'm actually with you about the 80 to 20 ratio of probability here. Because Cyan he's been there for a while. He's played a lot of games. He's diamond level. Stu Blue technically hasn't played that much comparatively. And there are a lot of cheeses he's not aware of and how to deal with.
Gas steal.
Yep, there's a gas steal by Cyan, so this would be annoying. And I think Cyan is also ready to block the natural, but looks like he's gonna go back home. So
Yeah.
typical opening here, although the Cyber is very late for Stu Blue. I mean, not that late, but it's still late.
I think my echo is fixed now, so I can join you in on this. But
But
look at this.
Yeah, but here's the problem though. What is that? That's gonna be some sort of a void ray plate, right? Because of its
Close.
location.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but the problem is his gas is blocked.
And science sees it.
And sees it too. But even if
Oh.
he's doesn't see it, gas steal really delays any type of tech pushes or any tech shenanigans that any Protoss can throw at you, right?
It's experience right there. He knows that. I mean, he would know. Cyan would know not to do this anymore. But he's gonna go through with it anyway. He has a lot helping
Yeah,
to get the gas as soon as possible.
But I don't know if this response by Cyan is
yeah.
that the 3 probe pull.
Yeah, that's actually ineffective. So maybe it's gonna work out. The pressure, man.
Yeah, because
Nice on your
those
pressure.
the probe's not gonna kill those units, right?
Wasting energy, I think.
Yeah.
Something.
Something. He does have one. Yeah, I mean, I don't even think this Void Ray might pop because 2.
Kinda
Well,
manually
maybe he will.
heal that pylon. He's not manually healing it,
Yeah.
and the energy is being used on other things.
Yeah, the
It's
second.
not gonna get up.
Yeah, the second stalker's already up, so I think the
It's
gig's up.
It's
doesn't
experience, man. Look, he even has 2 zealots, so Cyan knows the ins and outs of it. Now, even though the probe pool was inefficient, wasted the energy and kind of distracted. Maybe even get to start the Void Ray.
But what Cyan doesn't want to do is ignore this though, so he's gonna have to go down there and see if he can take that pylon once again. He can probably get a Void Ray out and chrono it. Yeah, but he's not chronoing it at all. Cyan chases that one probe.
Yeah,
Actually
you wanna
spends a
kill
lot of
that.
time.
You definitely want to kill the probe as fast as possible, then the pylon. So
Yeah, so the chrono was late, and there's already 3 additional stalkers on the map, so it's not gonna do much here. He can probably prismatic align this when it comes out and take out one of the stalkers. Not there though.
No,
Not that one.
surrounded.
No. Yeah. So, but if he he could have taken that one stalker out, but so not a
Yeah.
good start here. But at the end of the day, right? Cyan hasn't finished his Nexus yet. Yeah, he's behind in the Nexus, but at the same time he's 2 workers ahead. So it's it's not GG yet unless Cyan goes across the map and micros these stalkers. So I think
Scary
this we're gonna
against
get.
all these zealots though. So yeah, I'll probably just stay put and just poke
Yeah, but
and
these are
run.
gonna be slowed zealots.
True. Maybe I guess for me, sometimes when I see that many zealots, I'm thinking they always have charge. but-
Yeah. Alright, so Blink is coming in for Cyan. I think he's gonna poke in. He's gonna see Nexus is far behind his.
Yeah. So here's the difference, right? Cyan is a solid platinum, been diamond before player. Stu Blue, I think, is gold, maybe almost platinum. So you can just see the big difference here of how efficient Cyan is, comparison, solid his reactions are, that kind of thing. This is what's tough. However, Stu Blue just started playing last season, so you can see
Yeah.
how fast he improved, and may overtake his Cyan this season or next.
Yeah, based on trajectory, definitely. But so in this game, Stu Blue needs to put a pylon down there and put a shield battery.
Both dad and son have the shield battery thing going. So the
Yeah, so because even if you're behind at this point, if you put a shield battery down there, a couple of shield batteries, and
Yeah.
just 3 stalkers, that can help you defend for in the long run and help you catch up, right?
Just so crazy how big of a difference shield battery does. But I think if you're Protoss, you should always have a shield battery, especially at your front, right? That's my
Yes, definitely. All right, so we have a War Prism here coming in for Stu Blue.
mine has blink coming, so and this no charge yet for the
Yeah, there's no charge. The Twilight's just about to be completed pretty soon. Charge has started for Cyan. Now his War Prism is en route, so I think he can reinforce this if he commits. And there are no shield batteries down here, so I think he can just overrun him right now.
yeah easily, especially with blink
Yeah.
micro.
All right, this is it. Let's see how this Blink Micro is. Loses 1, 2 stalkers, 3 right away.
Yeah, he didn't actually blink micro at all, except for a couple of blinks. Efficient, but I think it doesn't matter. He just has so.
He's gonna lose these 3 Zealots. Those 3 Zealots would have been really useful once their charge finishes, but he loses them right away here. Cyan brings in an observer just in case any DT show up, but we all know
There's
there's
blink.
nothing. Alright, there you go. Much better blink control here. And I think he's just gonna get overrun here. The Void Race fell. There's a GG. Yeah, Stu Blue just fell way behind during that opener.
Cyan.
But yeah, he didn't really perform that bad, so.
Yeah, considering he really fell behind, he caught up. If he had a shield battery up front, kind of joined up with his Void Ray, which he still made after losing the first Stargate, think how close that could have been. If he had charge, well, he can run them over. So that's close
Yeah.
enough considering.
It's very close. So now let's see how this goes in a typical normal opener and see how he fares in the mid to late game.
Well, I've seen Cyan in a normal opener. He looked really impressive against the Archaic in terms of his macro. So I don't think you actually want to go long game against Cyan if you're Stu Blue. I like what he did, which is really try to do something strong like a proxy Void Ray. The problem, as you said, is gas got stolen.
Yeah, everything was late because if the gas is stolen, then the gas income is stunted and you can't get that Stargate early enough.
Yeah, we didn't talk about this, but the map is Blackburn. So we started with 2,000 atmospheres, and then Blackburn. If we go to a game 3, it's Hardwire, and that's what Stu Blue really wants. He said he just wants one game win.
Yeah, and Cyan did his job making sure that he doesn't get cheesed because that's one of the ways he would lose these games. And so he did a good job scouting.
Alright, game 2, guys.
FSL Season 5.
Alright, on the bottom left corner of Blackburn, the red Protoss.
Stu Blue 88.
And top right, the original Protoss in the household.
Cyan.
Alright, so one of the things that they can take away from any of these VODs or any of these games is they really need to be going to a habit on just putting shield batteries in front of their natural.
Yeah,
Right?
100%.
I mean, it's not necessarily on the top of your ramp in your main, only if you're getting cheesed. But once you start going down to your natural and getting your natural base set up, one shield battery can hold off a lot of aggression, right? And if you see it as really committed, you can even put 2 or 3, right? And that, if you're behind, that actually will help you catch up, right?
Yep. And that's just the thing. You might as well put it in your build because you're not that efficient that first 100 is going to slow you down. It can
Yeah.
save your life. So
It's
go
just like
ahead
another
and add
pylon.
that. Add
Yeah,
that
it's
to
just
your
like
build. I don't hate it when these players put shield battery in their middle line as part of their build. I don't mind it at all. That means an Oracle can't just kill you, you know?
Yes, definitely. And actually, he's gonna get stolen once again. No, Cyan thought. Oh no.
Oh, no.
Alright, so here's another thing too. Stu Blue needs to learn how to do a gas block steal.
Yep.
Right? When your gas getting stolen, you know how to block it. And the way to do that is you have one of your probes just right click on the assimilator and then just press hold, right? So it doesn't move. And that way, you don't have to commit to building the assimilator right away, but it prevents them from putting an assimilator on your end. So, yeah, those are small things that you could learn and how. But
yeah.
this is actually we missed it. This is a cannon rush. No, he canceled
Why
the first
cancel it?
one.
Yeah, but let me add something on what you just said there. In fact, I like it better. You just make the gas, period. It just makes it easy for you. You're not gonna miss that 75 minerals, honestly, at this
Yeah,
level. Just make
I
the
know.
gas.
Definitely. I mean, if you don't want to deal with it, just make the gas. But
Yeah.
for those that are thinking twice, I'm like, hey, I don't want to get my gas yet. I want to put an extra pylon or get my gateway or get my cyber, and I don't have 75 yet, and they're coming right there and then that's how you stop them from stealing it.
Oh, this is looking
Right.
good for Stu Blue denying this expansion, which
Yes.
cancel.
And this is actually tough for Cyan to dislodge, right? Yeah, he won't expand for a bit. Although there is I think he's gonna start a Void Ray right now.
Yep. Oh, he canceled it. He's
He's
going
thinking
starved.
twice.
Okay,
Alright.
now he made it again.
Yeah.
But
So
here's
this is
another
a-
cool thing. I would add a shield battery to support these cannons. It just makes them like it just makes them seem like there's 5 cannons rather than just 2.
Well,
just
the
for
problem
100.
is he doesn't have a cyber.
Oh, he still hasn't made that? Yeah, so
Yes.
there's quite a few things on Stu Blue's builds that really are easy to fix. He just doesn't have
Yeah.
the right builds. And
Yeah.
once he watches the VODs, he'll understand. But you can see, even though he has the wrong builds, this guy is quick enough and produces enough to make the game somewhat a game, right? Instead of taking a giant lead and forget it, you're done. Kind of does
Alright, but
it.
here's the problem right here.
Oh,
Here's a
man.
Void Ray coming in, and you do not have any stalkers, anything that shoots up in your base, and
This is really
this is
early
gonna
for
be
him.
problematic right here. This might end the game.
I think it is
now.
gonna end the game because he probably just has not encountered the thing where there's this fast of a air
Yeah.
unit. So there
Because
you go.
this Void Ray, if he prismatic aligns those 2 pylons,
Yeah.
that's it, game over. Right, but
Oh.
actually he's gonna opt to just pick off probes here, which is,
It's a safe move.
This- it's a safe
big,
move here.
yeah, it's a big damage. Not mining.
Because that was my Void Ray, right? And I go there and there's no stalkers. I'll go to their to that pylon that's powering both gateways and just prismatic align that. That thing will fall so fast.
Yep. But Cyan took the sure thing, which is guaranteed damage. Because he doesn't know if there were stalkers somewhere else, and then 2 more stalkers pop up, and then next thing you know,
Yeah.
his Void Ray's dead, right? So he took the sure damage, which is no mining, many workers killed. So that's sure damage,
Yeah.
and he gets away. Look at that.
Yep, he gets away, and he has a gold.
Yeah, smart move here too. Actually, just take the gold. Screw it. Don't bother with this this thing.
All right, so Stu Blue survives this Void Ray harass, but he doesn't have a natural. And let's see where he's still producing probes, right? But if you're producing probes right now, any probes that you produce is not helping you unless you have a natural coming up. Right, it looks like he's setting to get one
gonna
right
do it.
now.
Yeah, that's good.
There you go. Alright. So, I like Cyan's units that he's making right now, right? He's making an Immortal, a Void Ray.
Yeah, look at this move out. I think the cannon here saw. If the cannon saw, but this Stu Blue look.
Yeah,
So-
I doubt that he knows.
Probably doesn't know.
Because right now he's probably wondering, alright, I need to do this, I need to do that.
Oh man, he has enough units here to clean this up too. So, this game is gonna go Cyan's way. It's just how long is it gonna take? It's just such a big lead now for Cyan.
Yeah, definitely.
Ooh, but the mistake by Cyan. Look at that. He didn't
Yeah.
finish the gold mining here.
I wonder what happened there. He sent it there, probably press S to stop, and then he forgot about it. Because
Yeah, you can tell.
the
Like,
way the way they're positioned, it's not like
there
he
you go.
just alright. Okay, there he fixed it. Alright, he's taking his natural,
third
it's just
base.
third. Alright, a Stargate is on the way for Stu Blue, but he's, way behind here. He does have +1 weapons upgraded because of the forge that he got early. But right now, it's not gonna help him that much because there's the only thing he can make are what? Stalkers and Zealots. Zealots are not gonna fare well without charge. And Stalkers, well, there's a bunch of anti-Stalkers in Cyan's army.
Yeah.
So-
The thing too I noticed, Stu Blue's control is really good. However, it's just his macro and builds that are easy to fix. He can get that. That's what Cyan's leading on. Cyan's making control mistakes. You saw the gold mismining, saw a few, mistakes here and there. As far as control, right?
Yeah.
So, but he macros way better, of course. Playing the game for a while, so that is a big deal.
Yeah,
SC2 is
and-
not just about all this microing. It's really you better macro.
Yeah, and I think Stu Blue just needs a lot more experience under his belt.
I think he
you
needs
know,
the proper build. Once he gets the proper build, he's gonna be a world of difference better. It's not producing so many zealots right off the bat and delaying your cyber. That is that's like a Protoss 101, right? So I think he just
Well-
didn't get that. I think he's winging it. So probably when he starts watching the VODs and checking out the proper builds, you get a cyber as soon as.
Yeah, you don't make that many Zealots at this stage of the game unless you have charge,
Yep.
and you're planning to attack. And so you don't have charge, and you're kind of defensive. So Zealots are probably not the best unit at this point. All right. Well, so Stu Blue is making his own Void Rays. So let's see what he does from here. Charge is on the way for Cyan.
Yeah, and look at Stu Blue. He's only 13 army supply behind, despite being so far behind the beginning. And this is what I'm talking about, right? Once Cyan gets really set and then Stu Blue catches up, you better
Yeah.
watch out for a control thing. Maybe Stu Blue controls better. But
Yeah, and Cyan is taking his fourth.
Oh my
but there's a big imbalance on his resource supply here because there's a big gas bank that he has. So I'd rather for him just put down the Templar Archives, which there it is, and then you can make a bunch of Archons just for
yeah,
to just utilize that gas that's just sitting there. For Stu Blue, he's it's good as he's using his money, spending his money
Yeah,
as they come, right? Which is a good sign.
some good fundamentals. Really the macro and economic side, the build stuff.
But this is a similar army supply. So if they clash and Cyan messes up the control,
And
and
we've seen him do that. We've seen
Yeah,
him
and
do
s-
that.
and Stu Blue wins a battle convincingly, and then he just marches across the map, and then Cyan can't make enough, in time,
Yeah.
right? That's a possibility. But of course, he's so behind in so many facets of the game right now.
The other thing is he doesn't even have a shield battery still. It's like, I know we've
Yeah.
harped on it plenty of times and he still doesn't have it, which means there's a chance he could lose with a bad engagement.
Yeah, so good to see Stu Blue taking his third now, albeit really late here.
Wow, look at the supply. Stu Blue, man. Caught up pretty well considering.
Yeah, I mean, worker-wise, is
Well,
really behind.
it was 4 bases to 3 for a while, right? So
Yeah.
actually
All right.
4 to 2. Look at that. I mean, the third base hasn't even finished up. So yeah, he's gonna produce a lot more workers. But the RB supply, Stu Blue, man. This guy could be dangerous later once he figures out how to play Protoss and the builds.
Yeah. More Void Rays. He's still making Void Rays, which, you know what? If they have an engagement and the Stalkers fall quickly, well, there are a lot of Archons though, so.
We'll see. I'm
Alright.
trying to think of a way he can lose this. It's just hard because the Archons are there, the Voiders are there, and then he has all these Immortals too. So, I mean, if he has Charge Slot, which I don't think he does. Yeah, he doesn't even have Charge. And then he's going down the ramp on a bad concave. Yes,
Yeah, you're just gonna have to give that up and attack. Let him come to him in the high ground. But here's the there's a prismatic align a lot earlier for Stu Blue. He wipes out the entire force of the Void Race first, but there's a lot of Archons. The Archons are actually gonna wipe out the Void Race there, and the charge slots are providing the tank for the rest of the units behind. And I think he's gonna run away with this battle. The hope that we had is actually disappeared, and I think Cyan's gonna close it out here.
Yeah, with a little better control and some shield batteries, it's possible it could have been closer, but
Yeah,
mathematics doesn't lie. 1-1 upgrade versus 1-0. He's about to get 2-2, and then here's the follow-up charge lots.
So if you had those couple of shield batteries on the high ground and that battle took place and you overcharged that, there is a way that you could have probably evened out that fight. And so, like I said, if you just see if you can add the shield battery in his build order, I think it'll fare a lot better.
Yep, minor stuff. Here you go. Let's bring him in. Chat with them.
Yeah, good games, gentlemen. There's a lot closer than it really looked. Stu Blue just fell behind in so many different parts of the game. But my quick question is, Stu Blue, have you tried, or what was the reason that you're avoiding making shield batteries at home? You're just not used to making them?
I've never made them really at all when I play. I just
Okay.
Doesn't fall far away from the tree.
So both of them. But I think a lot of those games, like for example game 1, where he had a lot of stalkers and you were somewhat behind because of the failed proxy that he found. But if you had a couple of shield batteries, I think you would have held that off and would have caught up. So those are small things. And then same thing with game number 2. If you had some shield batteries in the high ground, that battle, although he lost your third, might have fared better. So you had in game number 1 prepared was that a Void Ray Rush? And is that what you've been practicing the past week?
I'm just trying to get it down as fast as I could.
Gotcha. KJ, do you have any questions here for Stu Blue?
Stu Blue, your builds, are you winging it or are you watching some VODs? Because honestly, if you just adjust your builds, you will win a lot more games and possibly even steal an easy one from Cyan. What do you think? Did you been winging it or?
The second one, I messed up on the cannon. I put it too far back, and then I messed up by placing another pylon and trying to place it closer, and then that got me behind. But on the first one, I watched a video on that.
Gotcha. So the first one you kind of followed it, but I think one of the more important parts of the build is not to get your gas stolen. And so I think he stole your gas twice in a row. Do you know how to deal with how to keep them from stealing your gas? Or is that something that you just got caught off guard?
I didn't even know that. Or, I don't know how to
Yeah, I haven't
even
seen that. Yeah.
I've
Just
never
take
seen
your
it.
gas early. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. So one of the ways is to just take your gas early and just forget about it. It's only 75 minerals. But if he's right there and you don't have 75, one of the things you can do is just take one of your probes, right click on that gas geyser, and then press hold so he can't make a gas assimilator, right? That way you blocked him from taking it until you're ready, right? Those small things, but I think your game 1 build hinged around making sure your gas is not stolen, because that is a gas heavy build, right? Making Void Race that early. But that was a good try. Just prepare your builds, and I think you'll do well. I think your macro is a lot better. Your unit control, actually, KJ Freedom was mentioning as well during the cast. Your unit control is on point a lot of times. So you just need to shore up these small things, and I think you'll do well in the rest of the season. So good luck. All right, so Cyan, good job on the games. Did you plan on stealing the gas, or is that something you were aware that he's not going to be able to stop?
He'd been bragging all afternoon, like, oh, I've got this build, I've been watching this stuff, and I don't think he realizes that I can click on his name and look at his match history and see that he just did Void Raid rushes. So it's like, okay, so I know what he's going to do. So I just steal the gas, try to delay it as much as I can, find out where his pylon is, and then just take it from there. So he's got a lot to learn, but he did play really well. I was really surprised that he played as well as he did, especially in the first game with losing all that stuff. So I'm pretty proud of him that he played really well tonight.
He produces units pretty fast. He caught up to you, even though you had a huge lead, man. So gotta watch out for that kid.
Yeah, if I can get him to play more and practice more, I think he can really excel at it.
Yeah, for the
But
little
that's a
amount of
very-
games, he's pretty
It's
good.
a very good point there, Cyan. So Stu Blue, next time you start practicing for a match or you're sniping a specific person with a build, when you do your practices, I know you can't do this on ranked and unranked games. When you do your practices, there is a setting to hide your build history, right? So you don't show that because people, especially code A and up, will look at your match history and look at the build order you did, and that's what they prepare for. So yeah, just a good point, and that's how you learn these things. Any other questions, KJ?
No, nice job, guys. Seeing the future.
Thank you, thank you. Looking forward to the 2v2s and really looking forward for this Code S match tonight. It's going to be a really good night.
Oh,
That's gonna be a
that'll
good night.
really good.
All right, so Code A is in the books for tonight. We're now gonna be heading to our 2v2 match. Actually, I'm gonna let KJ go here along with Cyan and Stu Blue, but I'm gonna let them go and let KJ prepare for his game. And actually, we'll take a quick break and see if we can set that up, and then we'll be right back.
All right, we'll do that. We'll be right back, guys. All right, I think so we're back. Let's bring back Seth. And let's see, is Maligan here?
Yeah, we'll bring him in the lobby when we're ready. I think I need both little.
And yourself in the lobby, and we can start talking.
Okay. Hold on a minute.
All right, so let's actually do a quick interview here. KJ, are you ready for an interview?
Yeah, let me add the players and production switch is happening.
Okay.
So Mizell is here now. Little Reaper. We need Maligan on the camera. Oh.
All right, well, let's interview the players real quick and bring them up. All All right, joining us now are the players for 2v2. I know we still having Sir Maligan
Just get that set up.
put on his video camera here.
I think I have the wrong link then, because I'm already on video Ninja. Hang on.
All right, so we're here. We're just waiting for Maligan, but we can interview the players that are here.
I'll do the interview here for now.
All right, so let's interview. Let's start with Little Dom, Team Little Dom. First of all, Little Reaper, are you ready for tonight's game? Are you ready to take out these uncles and take them down? Have you been practicing? What's going on?
Yes, I'm ready.
Ready. Have you prepared specific builds for them? You guys practice a specific strat?
Yes.
Yes and yes. You don't want to divulge anything. And how do you think it's gonna fare tonight? You guys gonna win, or you're kind of unsure?
Unsure.
Unsure. Okay. All right. So KJ, have you guys practiced together 2v2?
It's hard
compare
because we
against
can't
double
find
Taran?
any double Tarans. You know, on ladder. So we played a couple, but whatever we're doing is not really relevant to double Taran.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough to find double Terrans on 2v2s. You know, you're gonna have to ask other FSL players to scrimmage against you and have them do double Terran type of thing.
Yeah, we never got to do that, so no real practice on that. So that's what we'll reveal.
All right, on the other side here, Mizel and Maligan, I know you were doing some last-second customs there and trying to prepare some stuff. How's your teamwork going so far? Are you guys yelling at each other less and less?
Well, that's the problem. We don't yell at each other, so I think we need to yell at each other. Hey, don't attack!
That's a good idea.
All right, my next question is, push comes to shove, who is the commander between the two of you? Who calls the shots?
Mizel. Mizel calls the shot. He's the master Taren here.
Is that true, Mizel?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll just make sure you guys are on the same page.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I have to.
Okay.
It has to be Mizel because he's the better player on Taren. So.
Alright, so I think comment on chat everyone has an echo, so production might need to take care of that. So I guess any specific strat you guys worked on, because you know what you guys are going to be facing here against Little Dom, and what are your chances? What do you think?
Well, for me, we're winning a lot of games against DI. So at least we have a build, right? That's our Malaga.
Yeah,
Okay.
we get to practice two games. So
Alright,
we'll see how it goes.
Alright, well on the other side, they haven't been able to practice as much, especially against the double Terran. So, any final words before we get started here?
Hey,
Good luck, have fun.
Yeah, good luck, have fun.
Have fun. Alright.
For now.
Alright, so Sir Maligan and Mizel, you guys can go to your respective channels. We'll talk to you after the match.
All right.
And Little Reaper as well with KJ Freedom. So, alright, wait for them to get off to their channels. There it is. Only the stream account is on our stream channel, so they can't hear us. Just waiting for... Alright. Waiting for Little Reaper. I don't see him on. Give me a second here. So production, if you can kind of nudge Little Reaper, get him on StarCraft so I can invite him. It's actually a pretty cool matchup here. Looking at their standings, we have Little Dom 1-1, and their only loss, their one loss came
Can you talk,
against GG Izzy, which is a tough opponent for them as
Your
well.
server muted and server deafened.
So they've paired well this season so far. Now we have Benzel here, who's 0-2, but they are better than that 0-2 record.
Talk.
So let's see if they get back on the winning track starting with tonight, and that's why this is going to be an interesting matchup. I'm waiting for Little Reaper to get on. Let me actually gonna go tell him real quick.
Hello, Edmund.
Alright, So waiting for that. Um, so Taran versus Taran, and I think KJ's gonna play Taran and Little Reaper's Protoss. So it's gonna be a lot of Tarans tonight. All right. Still waiting. I think we should be ready to go. All right, there we go. He's on StarCraft. All right, and off we go. 2v2. Benzel versus Little Dom, starting off in heavy artillery. Game 2 will be Emerald City. And then, if necessary, we'll get to Fields of Death.
You are watching FSL Season 5.
Alright, good luck, have fun. On the bottom left corner of heavy artillery, one of the two Terrans, the blue Terran, he is
Sir Maligan.
and his teammate, spawning as a teal Terran.
DLS Mizel.
And their team name is called
Benzel.
Alright, these graphic artists, they have the best intros here. Alright, on the top right corner, picking Taran as his race, he is.
KJ Freedom.
And his teammate, the Protoss Boy Wonder, he is.
Little Reaper.
Alright, nothing out of the ordinary here. Terrans are just starting off with their normal barracks opening, no CC first opening. Little Reaper sent out his probe to scout, although I doubt he's going to be able to get up there because in heavy artillery, it's easy to wall this off, especially with double Taran, right? Both of the Terrans just put their depots right there at the top of the ramp, and then right after that, one of them makes a barracks to close it off. So it's very easy to just wall it way before a probe comes in, so he's not going to be able to get up there. There is a proxy by the teal Terran, Mizel, which he's been doing this lately in these games, and that is a tech lab. So this is going to be a Marauder push? Huh. Okay. Alright, so it is a Marauder. Marauder started with concussive shells. Now, what is Maligan going to follow up with? He's going to follow up with Reapers, right? The Reaper's going to go across the map. No, actually not yet. He's going to make a second Reaper. And he actually is skirting around this probe, but I think he should just go ahead and kill the probe because there's nothing out of the ordinary of seeing a Reaper first. So the probe is killed. What you don't want to show is multiple Reapers. So you don't want to wait until your second Reaper and kill it, right? Because that will, that's an actual tell. So he is making more Reapers. He did make a factory, and the factory is making a reactor. So I think he's gonna follow it up with some Hellions, I'm guessing. Oh no! Mizel has been supply blocked. Actually, so is Sor Maligan, and their build is not as efficient as it should be. The Marauder had to wait for the supply block to be cleared before he even starts the second one. Shields are being upgraded next. Actually, the reason he picked that over Stim is because they're gonna be attacking. It's imminent now, and he needs the upgrades as soon as possible. However, those shields only benefit the Marines, and he has 0 Marines. So unless he's gonna transition to Marines real quick here, that's not really going to help him. So if you're not gonna make Marines, might as well start the Stim pack. Alright, so the Reapers, 2 of them are already joined the rally point here. Two more are actually are those Reapers coming across the map? I think so. I think no, they are Hellions. All right, this push has started. This is actually going to be scary because Stalkers are not gonna fare well here. Tank is on the way, so they have to go right now. And you do not want to put the tank close to the ledge because the Marauders can easily pick them off. And the tank is actually going down. You don't want to go down there. The tank's going to get picked up really quickly. The Stalkers are going to get forfeit. The grenades actually push them up in the air, so lessens their DPS. They clear out all of the units down below. The Marauders are still alive. They're actually going to make work of these depots really quickly because they have extra damage. The Reapers are actually choosing to fight or kill those the Stargate building, which is going to take forever. He does not want to do is bring those Marauders up though, because the Marauders are terrible against Zealots, and the Zealots make quick work of the Marauders. Marauders have been wiped out, and I think that was not a good control here for Benzel. Although they wiped out that initial army, they split off and fought against the worst composition that they could fight against unit-wise, right? The Marauders were fighting against Zealots, the Reapers were fighting against Stalkers, and because of that, they lost all of the units on the other side. Now, they're still gonna continue attacking. A lot of these SCVs are heavily injured, and so all he has to do is just a fuse. So it's too late again, so a lot of these miscontrols here. He's gonna get one SCV. He could have wiped out these SCV line instead of shooting at the command center, but these are small things that could have really tilted this Little Dom here. But instead, they held on. They have their expos up. So we're gonna have to go shift to the mid game, and in the mid game they are actually behind already. They're behind in worker count. They're behind in unit count, and tech-wise, you know what? They're not too far behind. Malagat is putting down a... well, actually it's going to be for battle cruisers. A fusion core here. I doubt that he's going to do range liberators, but he already has 2 starports with tech labs on them. But his fusion core is really late, so I think he started it off a lot later than he would like to. Alright, so we're gonna get to mid game here. Little Reaper has a healthy 70 supply. He's going air, he's getting air upgrades, and he does have 5 warp gates, but I don't think he's gonna be using them much here. He's gonna be transitioning focused on air mostly. And in the meantime, Mizel is flying back his barracks. And we're gonna get to the mid game. Alright, so Benzel are behind. What they cannot do, however, is let the Protoss get to that golden armada, because we've seen in previous games Benzel as a team has actually had a hard time dealing with that. Alright, so here's Mizel gonna send out 1 dropship full of units. The problem you have is there are already enough Void Rays to shoot this down before he even unloads anything. And so he's gonna have to skirt all the way around. He might be able to drop on the very corner there for the red base, for the red Protoss. But Mizel and Malagat looks like they've caught up in supply. I'd like for them to take a third, actually all of them, to start looking into taking a third here. Alright, let's see what this drop does. He's gonna skirt around the sensor tower, go all the way. Now he's gonna go for the main, which is a bad idea because there are 2 turrets there. And he gets shot down so quickly, and the Void Rays will clean up these Marines. He could have just gone to the corner. He should have been able to see that first turret and not committed. And, you know, another bad play here. And it's just a series of bad plays here for Team Benzel. And Malagat is gonna throw away those 3 Widow Mines, all clumped up together for the tanks to just AoE them down. Battle cruisers are in play here, so it's gonna be all about unit engagement at this point. Mizel and KJ Freedom taking their third. They are moving out once again. They haven't been doing a good job with unit control lately, so you know, hopefully they'll fare better here. I don't think that's enough to take care of. That's a big army there, and I don't think they can break that. So if you scan that, and you see you really can't break that, right? You either choose to try to contain them, which you have a chance of being run over, or you just go back home, right? And you macro up. What you don't want to do is you lose your entire army here and just die to a counterattack. There is a lot of units here because you've already scanned it, and if they jump all over you, which I think they're about to do right now, you might lose everything here. The interceptors might trigger these mines, so they might actually they're gonna have a good hit on the zealots here, but still that's not enough. And look, so like what I said, they forfeit their entire army for just being out of place, and there's really no reason for them to be there at that point, right? You did scan, you did see what army they have, and you should be able to tell that, look, your army that you have across the map is no match against that big army, and if they jump on you, you'll lose all of them. So they did lose all of their units save for one battlecruiser that teleported across the map. But here's the big army now. That's a lot of charge slots with carriers and void ray support and also tanks. And here's the siege. It's gonna start right now. Let's see. Oh, there are a lot of widow mines here, so this might clear out a lot of the zealots. First widow mine fires, but the siege of the tank has begun. I don't even know how they can dislodge these siege tanks at this point. At the same time, the air unit for Little Reaper is just gonna chip away at the base, and there's really nothing they can do about it because they can't jump all over that with the units that they have. So I think this is the beginning of them getting whittled down here. The tanks are just leapfrogging one at a time. The Marines try to stem up, but there's really not enough of them. It's not even a surround. I think that, so Mazel's lifted up the command center, and I think he might even lose, yeah, he's gonna lose that, while the other units are just ravaging the rest of Sir Maligan's natural. And I think this is gonna be it here. There's not enough units here. Alright, there's only one battlecruiser left, and that falls as well, and I think they're gonna be seeing a GG pretty soon here. Yeah, I think at that point there's so many areas there that they didn't do well. Number one, their early attack, they fought against the wrong units. They should have just either stuck together or switched in terms of who they were fighting. The Marauders fought the Zealots, the Reapers fought Stalkers, and then the mid game there where they still had a chance, their units were just in the middle of nowhere and got caught, and they lost that, and from then it was downhill. So unfortunate for Benzel. Good job by Little Dom, especially Little Reaper with his Golden Armada. Actually, it's not even a Golden Armada. He had a lot of charge slot as well, so that's a good job by him. And so a well-deserved victory from game number 1. Moving on to game number 2. It's gonna be Emerald City. I don't even hate their strat there, and I think they could pull that off again. It was just the execution that was lacking, and if they executed that better, even just killing the SCVs, a lot of units attacking buildings unnecessarily. So those type of things, if they just clean that up, I think they'll be fine. And they can use that same strat. That's a really scary strat in terms of with Hellions and Marauders and Reaper support. Alright, just waiting for production to join our lobby. We can get started. This. Alright, starting, and here we go. Game number 2.
You are watching
All right. Let's start with the top left corner of Emerald City. The blue Taran.
DLS Nizel.
And his teammate. Usually a Protoss, but for the team games he's playing Taran. He is
Sir Maligan.
And their team name is called
Benzel.
Yeah, very strong little Reaper. You know, you let him just macro up, get the stuff that he wants. Alright, speaking of the orange Protoss, he is
Little Reaper.
and his teammate, the yellow Taran.
KJ Freedom.
And their team name is called
Little Dumb.
Alright, same opener for both, just standard. The scout is there. This is a bigger choke, but with 2 Terrans, they can easily close it off with 2 barracks and 2 depots, which they do. And immediately after, factory for Maligan, just like the first game, but this time, Mizel doesn't look like he's going to be proxying, because that's a very late SCV, so he's just probably going to scout with it. Earlier, the first game, he sent that SCV a lot earlier for to be able to build that barracks across the map. So he's just going to scout here. He's going to see a pretty standard opening for both players. Early expo for both Mizel and KJ Freedom. And Sir Maligant and Little Reaper opts to take their later expansion to make sure they tech up a little bit, make sure they don't die to any cheese. No. Little Reaper getting that stalker right away, right, to deal with any of these scouts. Alright, so let's see their unit control here again. So Mizel sends the Reaper. It looked like the Reaper goes behind. Alright, so we didn't see it, but the Reaper gets picked off by the Stalker with the help of the Marine. Right, so Sir Maligant fares a little bit better. Runs away with the Reaper. Here's the expo for Little Reaper. No expansion yet for Sir Maligant. That's a very, very early armory, and I think he's going to be going for mine drops once again. There it is. The mines are queued up. Medevac's almost done. I think he's just going to zoom across the map. Now, what kind of detection does Team Little Dom have here? So, no detection. There is scan available for Freedom, but I know he's going to be dropping that mule as soon as the energy is available, so he's not going to be banking that up. So this might cause some problems. He's waiting for another round, so he makes sure he has 4 mines at the ready, and then with that he takes his second CC. So he's going to be behind economically at the sacrifice of getting these early invisible Widow Mines, and just missed by the probe in the corner there. So it's a good route. I don't know if he knew that the probe is there, but you know, if he sent that southbound immediately, it would have been scouted. Now, Little Reaper might not see it, but KJ Freedom does have the vision on the minimap, so he might see that. But it's a good job that he avoided it. There's a quick scan to see what he's dealing with. And I think he used up this boost here, so he's going to probably wait for the next boost. He dropped 1 mine that he's going to walk down there. And he's going to boost in. And here's the mine. Let's see if Little Reaper is in time. Alright, so all the mines are now dropped. No, he didn't drop the last one. Alright, so what did the mine do? Like, mine got 1 of the stalkers, and this mine had 5 kills, so 5 probes. And so, as a response, KJ Freedom's like, I'm not scanning every time. I'm just gonna put turrets all over the place for our detection. In the meantime, KJ Freedom himself is gonna start his own drop. It's only one medevac with full of marine, well, one less marine to be full. But there are turrets there in the bottom, and there is a Viking here, and I think the Viking is gonna see that and is gonna start shooting. There it is, and he's gonna have to choose. He's gonna boost in because now he's gonna be committed, and he actually commits in, and he's gonna lose that, right? So that's the problem with if you see a Viking shooting at you, you either run away or you boost in, and he chose the latter, and he lost all of those units in exchange for nothing. Battle cruisers this time for Mizel with Yamato, and Meligant is the one going for bio in this round. Sir Maligant, because of his late CC, is severely behind in supply, so he needs to start. He's making one SCV at a time. He really needs to start making more than one SCV at a time here. He does have the money. He has a lot of bank here, and I think he's busy doing these drops. So. Alright, the mine shoots again. That mine has been a pain in the butt here because there's no turrets close enough to see it. Oh, the battle cruiser actually saved that one medevac, and here is the battle cruiser. Alright, here's a Raven. There is one disabled here, but he's gonna port out as soon as possible to just avoid being disabled and getting prismatic aligned by that one void ray. So, you know, they got some harassment done. Mizel is ahead in supply, ahead in workers, so he's doing great, especially the fact that he's going air. Actually, he's going mech. He's getting his third CC. Yamato's almost done. Tanks are in production, so he's really doing well here. Sir Maligant is still having a hard time breaking 60 supply. He does have a lot of minerals, so he really needs to start spending that money. And he's still making one SCV at a time, so he does drop down his third CC, which is great, and it's gonna be at the gold. He is spreading all of these widow mines, so this is gonna be annoying for Little Dom if they do not have a reliable detection. So they do have a Raven, but the Raven can easily be shot down by these widow mines if it flies over them. Not unlike an observer, where since they're invisible, they're pretty much safe. So if this Raven goes over these mines right here, he could lose them very easily. Alright, so carriers in production for Little Reaper again. Alright, actually he's making two at a time. And he is getting his upgrades. For the carriers, it's very important. +1 is more than halfway done. And yeah, Sir Maligant is broke 60 supply barrier here, but his upgrade is actually is doing pretty well. Second attack upgrade is almost done. Stem is almost done, so he just needs to add some more production facilities and just start making units. I think he'll be fine. They're now hunting for more widow mines. Here's the Raven looking around, and I think he's I was wondering what that is. Sir Maligant dropped a mule to repair that one widow mine, which is actually very unnecessary because repairing it's not going to do much, and at the same time, the mule is very expensive for that purpose. Alright, so KJ Freedom is about to land in the gold, but there is a widow mine there. He cannot. It's already fired at these marines, and look at the marines badly damaged. So he has to spend a scan to get rid of it. I wonder what happened to the Raven. Alright, the Raven is still alive, and there it is. He actually probably repaired it because he got hit by a widow mine. There's more widow mines taking pot shots at this army. And so this is pretty annoying to deal with. He has to spend a scan. Let's see if he actually kills it. Yeah, he does. He notices it. But there are more widow mines on the map. Mizel is actually at 152 supply. Full mech army. Yeah, that's actually pretty scary. The blue Taren is amassing a formidable force here, spending his money well. Sir Maligan's finally spent his money, but he's still behind. Well, actually, he's ahead of worker count of Little Reaper, and he's not too far behind Freedom in supply. So he spent it. Yeah, yeah. Look at him. He's having his +3 attack started, although his infantry armor is lagging behind though. So this is a much better much better game here for Benzel. There's another Widow Mine hitting a group of Zealots. So they're actually spending a lot of scans just trying to get rid of it. Okay, so let's see. This is all about engagements at this point. Widow Mine fires at the group of Marines. Another one. Really badly injured Marines here. Alright. Yamato hits the carriers. Marines are right underneath trying to deal with the interceptors, and I think they can focus fire on the carriers. These battle cruisers will actually reign supreme here. They're gonna take out these carriers one at a time. The tanks cannot help, and these carriers cannot. They don't have TP, so you're gonna have to recall them. Good recall. I mean, good teleport there for Mizel. Saves one carrier, gets rid of another carrier. Saves one of the battle cruisers, gets rid of another carrier. And they're on the chase. Thing about battle cruisers, they're really slow though. But there's nothing here that can contest them at the moment. And yeah, they can take care of these small Marines. He's gonna need to teleport that one battle cruiser, but he does not. He loses it. Alright, so now he's heading back. At the end of that, Mizel is ahead in supply, ahead in workers. So he's doing really well. Upgrades are on point as well. 2-1. Team Benzel is actually ahead, I believe. Sir Maligan is neck to neck with Freedom, but Little Reaper is behind in supply. So he's gonna have to rebuild his air fleet. He's making 2 carriers at a time, so I think his problem is gas, and he needs to take his gases on his third, which he does just now. And so he has a lot of minerals, but not enough gas. And if you want to start building an air fleet, it's very gas heavy. You might even need to take your fourth. And those fourth locations are actually guarded by Widow Mine. So, you know, he does not have detection. So KJ Freedom's going to have to help him out on that, which the coordination gets really hectic in a 2v2. So it's going to be hard for him to take his fourth. In the meantime, Mizel is actually having a big bank here, 1k each. But he's adding Thors into the mix. So if he adds those Thors and changes up to single target and starts focus firing on the carriers, carriers will fall really quickly. In the meantime, Maligant is focusing on Bio. Is now +3 in attack. Yeah, his armor is really behind. So I guess he did his second engineering bay really, really late. Alright. Here's another attack here by Benzel. Let's see. The Widow Mines have been burrowed, and I think they might be able to take this. I'm not sure. Yeah, they might have to back off here. I don't think they can take it with all those tanks. Oh, friendly fire by the Widow Mines, actually wiping out a lot of the Marines there from Sir Maligan. Alright, and they're actually gonna hold their ground here with the help of the Thors. I think they may be able to take this on. This tank siege back there, but KJ Freedom has tanks in the back line as well. But that is a lot of battle cruisers here, and is there enough anti-air here to deal with the battle cruisers? I am not sure. There's one Thor left for KJ Freedom, and oh no, Mizel is actually almost maxed out here. Yeah, that's gonna be scary with that many battle cruisers, and these battle cruisers have good upgrades on them already, and they're gonna take out that Thor quickly, and yeah, they're gonna have to run. Little Dom's gonna have to run here, and these look at these Widow Mines still wreaking havoc here on these armies that are running away. And I think they're gonna start pushing with these battle cruisers. The Thors are trying to catch up, but they have to go around the ledges. Alright, 3 battle cruisers at a time, more upgrades, more tanks. Sir Maligan is rallying his bio army, does have a lot of barracks in play. there is a mothership that just finished. So let's see. That's gonna join the fray, but at the same time, there is scans available for 2 Terrans here. So there's not a lot of tank. Actually, there's no more tanks remaining for KJ Freedom, and that might be a problem because Bio would reign supreme. Although the Bio runs forward and gets hit by all of these mines. All right, Yamato. Actually was started, but it was canceled. You know, these Widow Mines might actually cause a lot of friendly fire here. All right, so Yamato's been taken out of the mothership, but I think there's too many battle cruisers here and too many Thors. Yeah, that one tank in the back is doing a lot of work. And then the Bio is finally coming to help for Sir Maligan. I think that might turn the tide here, but they are not fighting together. They're alright, so this is the problem that the Benzel has. They do have the unit, they do have the army, but when they attack in pieces instead of working together here. He teleports forward, but alright, I don't know what they're doing. They're not attacking together here. The battle cruisers are running back. I think they're trying to get healed. So the army of Sir Maligan is by itself. They are gonna take out the tanks, however. Alright, this is just such a disjointed attack. This could have really snowballed this entire thing if they attacked together. While Little Dom's trying to hold on, but the good thing is they do work together. They attack together as a team. Alright, look at these turrets trying to... Well, actually, they're doing a really great job against these battle cruisers. More Yamatos are fired, takes out one carrier, heavily injures another carrier as well. There's only 2 remaining. Actually, never mind, there's only none remaining. There's one in the back that's going to try to retreat, but they are going to lose this ground. They're going to lose the gold, and then also with that, they're going to lose the 4th base of KJ Freedom, and that is their mining pretty much, because everything else should be dry. And while Team Benzel has the left side of the map already. They've already taken all of the expansions for their side, so they're already good. KJ Freedom can't even do a ninja base on the corner because it's already been occupied. Alright, scans reveal that they don't have, there's really no other expansions available. Alright, I think this is gonna be it. This is the last stand for Little Dom. They're gonna try to hold their ground here, but the longer they wait, the bigger the bank is for Benzel. And if they just work together as a team, this could be an easy assault here on the high ground. But let's see. I think Mizel is just going to wait until he repairs all of the battle cruisers. I think if he goes down there, Yamato's all those tanks, the Bio stems in. I think that's it. That should be GG. There should be enough battle cruisers to Yamato all of those things. That's funny. They're sharing the same base here. Alright, there's a scan by Mizel, but they're like, alright, we don't need to go up there. We'll just take out this 3rd by the Protoss, and this is the last mining base that they have. Battle cruisers fly in, takes all of those out. This is actually a good move because the tanks are not in good position. There's another teleport. I'm gonna have to ask Mizel about these teleports by the battle cruisers, which is just teleporting a few yards away from their initial position. Alright, that's it. There's no more anti-air here for Little Dom, and we should be seeing GG. And there it is. Benzel ties it up. 1-1. Let's see game number 3. GG. Well played there by Team Benzel. Their composition was much better than the first game. Although there's still a lot of teamwork that needs to be ironed out by both of them. I'm gonna have to ask about that. I don't know if it's a ping issue or they're just not aware, or they don't communicate. They don't tell the other, okay, I'm attacking now, go with me. So those are things we should probably ask after the match. But before all of that, we gotta play our decider, game number 3 on Fields of Death. So all right, welcome again, everybody. Those who just jumped in, this is FSL Season 5. For those watching, you guys follow us on Trovo. Click on that subscribe button and click on that notification so that you can be notified when we're on. And so you can, watch. These are some really good games. And, so I think KJ Freedom's had enough. He's like, all right, enough of this. I'm playing Zerg. All these battle cruiser stuff. I'm gonna put an end to it. And so we're gonna have double Taren versus Zerg and Protoss. And let's do this.
You are watching FSL Season 5.
All right, let's go. On the bottom corner, bottom left corner of Fields of Death, the blue Taran.
Sir Maligan.
And his teammate, the Big Mech Army, the teal Taran.
DLS Mizel.
And their team tying it up 1-1. They're called
Benzel.
Alright, on the top side, the orange Protoss. He is
Little Reaper.
and his teammate playing Zerg this time. His main race.
KJ Freedom.
Alright. See here, nothing out of the ordinary, although Zerg, actually out of the ordinary, the Zerg did expand in a very forward position to take advantage of the gold base. Now, Team Benzel has not, did they send a scout that sees that? No, they did not. Alright, so Mizel looks around, sees that it's a late pool, which, should be a hatch first, but does not see the hatch, so he's gonna go check the backside. And when he does not see a hatch there, right, and this level, especially in Diamond, you should be able to tell that that hatchery is somewhere else, not in those positions scouted. That means it should be the gold, right? So let's see if he goes to the gold directly. But he's actually gonna go take a quick peek again at the Zerg base. And it should already. This is the biggest tell right here. All right, he's not doing a drone pull against a double Terran, so those drones are going somewhere. Oh yeah, that's right, the gold base. All right, so now that they know about it, what are they gonna do? Well, wait. So instead of being aggressive to try to punish a gold base player, they make double bunkers to protect themselves. All right. Now they actually thought twice and they says, you know what? Never mind. Because if you send a bunch of Hellions right now to this base, there's only one queen protecting it. And that one queen's DPS will take forever to kill those Hellions. You have 4 Hellions, right? And then you'll roast all those drones. Lings would not have speed yet at this time. And so you would be able to do a lot of damage. But they opted to play defensive instead. So, What happens now? Let's see. Mizel takes his natural. Sir Maligan, of course, delays his natural as well in favor of tech, which he's going to do again a Widow Mine drop. But with the Widow Mine drop, instead of making a dropship, he opts to make a Liberator instead. But, you know, he probably thought, hey, I made my medevac the first time and I had to wait a long time, so maybe I can squeeze in the Liberator first. Well, you know, the Liberator takes a bit longer to make, and so that will delay your medevac severely here. So now he has to wait for this medevac, which screws up his build. So I'm wondering whether he tried this before, he's just doing this on the fly, or he really just wants this Liberator out as soon as possible. Right? Because he could have just done this basic build and then just followed it up with a Liberator. But instead, he wants to do the Liberator first. He's just gonna walk these Widow Mines over. Yeah, but he's not gonna do much here. There's already gonna be a spine. I like the position of that Liberator. Gets one drone. Repositions again. Alright, they're going to be aggressive. They are going to try to siege this gold base. There are tanks in play. They're going to siege up here. Going to be supported by Widow Mines and Marines. Alright, this is... That's a scary push because I don't think you'll have enough units to be able to defend this. Alright, and the siege starts. The Widow Mines have burrowed, but mostly hitting Overlords. The Liberator has repositioned as well. The Queens have run out of real estate to run back. Yeah, the tanks out, but you know what? They've played this pretty awkwardly here. They're gonna get the base, but I think they're gonna get cleaned up here. There are... Yeah, they weren't in sync when they did this. Alright, so they got the mission accomplished, however, but at the expense of all of the units. So now they're gonna run back. It's funny where Sir Maligan is taking his first, you know, this natural expansion now becomes all the way in the 6 o'clock position, which is not a good position to have your first base because, I mean, although it's a gold base, it's so far away. There are now there are DTs on the map. I think they've run out of scan, but he's gonna get this one turret in. Actually, already has a turret here for Mizel, but that turret is gonna fall. There is a Raven though, so I think they'll be fine. But they just don't have any units to fight this. They're gonna drop an auto turret here. Yeah, those Hellions are no match. They don't have any units. Oh no! Alright. So they are really discombobulated here. The first attack was just not organized. And then Sir Maligan is just expanded in the worst position for his first base. Now he's gonna be lacking money. And then they couldn't handle the DTs because they don't have any units even though they have detection. And they lost... Oh, Mizel lost... Did he lose his CC? He did lose his CC. And Zealots are still wreaking havoc here. They just don't have any units. So it really stemmed from that botched attack that they lost everything. Even though they got the gold base and, you know... So it's really not a good start here for Team Benzel. They're really behind and I think there's no way they can come back at this point. There is an auto turret, but that auto turret's gonna fall real quick. They still don't have... Finally, the Hellions come in. Cleans up the Zealots. Mizel is at 15 supply with 8 workers. And he's microing his heart out, but eventually it's gonna be a numbers game here where there's no way you can micro this. Oh, that's a nice hit by the Widow Mine, and you know, anything that they can get at this point. So Sir Maligan makes 2 Ravens. Alright, so we're gonna have to ask him that as well. Okay, so those Widow Mines are keeping them alive at this point. right? Having really efficient trades here, but they're just trying to stay above water. In the meantime, little Dom is just freely expanding everywhere. They both have big banks, and if they actually spend their banks, they would just they'd finish this game, and they might not even get to that point because just these zealots alone. Look, yeah, Mizel can't even get above double-digit workers at this point, and he was in danger of losing his main CC. And more zealots are in, and I think this will be it. It's just gonna be done in by zealots. All right, we're gonna have to ask him about this third game because they were really disorganized. And I have to ask Sir Maligan why he keeps choosing that base down there, which is the most the it's the hardest to defend base when you have a pocket base in the back there that you can easily defend. Of course, you have to deal with that war prism, but it's a lot easier than trying to defend the one on the 6 o'clock position because there's a big cliff that you'd have to walk all the way around just to get to. Alright, well, they're still alive, but it won't be for long. More zealots, and yeah. He tries to disable it, but he's already transformed, so it's not even gonna matter. That energy could have been used for auto turrets instead. But cyclones are in production. That's not gonna help because there's a bunch of charge slots. Yeah, it's just gonna be. I wonder if it's gonna end here. Well, there's still a lot of Widow Mines, which they don't have an instant scan. Alright. So, even though Little Reaper's throwing away all of these Zealots, I don't even think it matters at this point. He needs to lift that main CC though, because if you're not careful, that could fall really quickly with that many Zealots. Yeah, he's gonna lose these Zealots, but it doesn't even matter. He's dropping his mules on the gold, but for those of you who don't know, dropping mules on the gold doesn't matter. It's doesn't give you more income, right? That's why typically people don't drop mules at the gold. It only increases your regular SCVs mining that gold. And so you can't even send them down there because it's such a precarious location. But now that he lifts, he can't put it back down because of the creep that the overlords are spreading down there. Yeah, they're just prolonging this, but I think this is gonna be over. It's pretty much done. More SCVs are gonna fall. Little Reaper is just sending zealots, massive waves of zealots at them, and they really can't do anything about it. Alright, so the second CC is finally gonna float to a little bit better location. The zealots even picked off the fusion core. But he has so much money. Little Reaper took both bases on the top right, so he has a healthy economy. He doesn't even care about the fifth and sixth gas, because he's just sending zealots at this point. Lurkers are on the way. Alright, more zealots with some DTs in there. Oh no, actually they're all DTs. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. This is gonna be quick. That's how you destroy a CC quick right here. Yeah, I think GG should be coming in here soon. Sir Maligan's down to 5 army supply. He's just fighting with just all DTs. There's the GG. And Little Dom takes the victory. And Benzel drops to 0-3. Benzel's still in the game, but he's probably thinking, I can make this work. But little does he know, it's not even close. GG.
Good job.
GG's.
Okay.
Unpacking that series. But let's start with Benzel, Team Benzel. For what I'm noticing for most of these games, you guys are not attacking together, right? And it's bits and pieces here and there, and sometimes the wrong composition are facing against the wrong units, but then you guys go in waves and one backs off. What is the going on in terms of your communication during these games?
Well, actually, that was part of the plan. First harass in the beginning, then I'll harass, then. Wait, the first game. What happened in the first game? Oh,
Yeah,
the
so
first game. The first game we
yes.
did the timing push.
Yeah, so the first game was actually well thought of
Yeah.
with a Marauder concussive
Marines,
shell push,
yeah.
which the first engagement you guys wiped the floor with that first set of units that you sent out. And then that's when things fall apart after that because the Marauders attacked the Zealots and the Reapers and the Marines attacked the Stalkers. Instead of fighting together, you broke off in your individual area fighting the wrong units, and then you got wiped out there. All right, but even then, the game goes on. You guys were still in good position, right? And then you guys had a decent sized army, and you went in position to their front, and then you scanned, and you saw that's a bigger army than what you have out there. But then you guys still decided to go attack it. So those are the type of things I'm wondering in terms of communication. What's going on during your communication when you're playing these games?
I don't know what happened there, Mizel.
Yeah, well, the plan was to finish the game. For first game, the plan was to end the game as quickly as possible, around not more than 5 minutes. As you mentioned, it was well thought of, but executed.
Yeah, they had
Not-
a good defense.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
second
we yeah, for that attack I targeted the tanks. Wasn't able to target the stalkers afterwards, and we lost a lot of units there. Yeah, that's game
yeah.
one.
Yeah, so that was game one, and then they marched in. They had a better coordination, leapfrogging their tanks, but they won that game one. Game two was a very impressive win by you guys, Benzel. You know it was really impressive to see Mizel's full. He was maxed out on mech, which was scary, and the other players were not even close to max out, and I think that's what snowballed you guys to victory. But even then, when I watched the game, you guys are not fighting together, right? The Marines would go in ahead, and then the battle cruisers finally would join in, and then the Marines would run off instead of fighting together. And so I think those are small things. You guys did win that one, but it still showed the in you guys are not in sync. And then it got even more worse in game number 3, where you guys are fighting in little spurts instead of going together. And my biggest question, Sir Malagan, why did you take that gold base as your natural in that game, which is the hardest place to defend?
Yeah, I was just hoping, sneaky gold base, because if they're pushing hard in the front, there's no point putting a base in the front, right? So.
Well, yeah, but each of you have a designated first base in the backside that is kind of tucked in, right? I was wondering why you didn't take that one.
Yeah, well, I wanted to do gold, so
Okay.
got greedy.
He likes gold,
Gotcha.
man.
There's
we saw KJ go gold, so you know what? Oh shoot, we better match that.
Ah,
I
that
think
makes
there was
sense.
the
That's a good-
Overlord
that's a
made
good
a
move
beeline
then.
to your base, and of course veered off to the right, which is where that gold base. So it wasn't gonna be undetected for a while.
Yeah.
But the first push on that gold was actually very well done. It's just after you guys kind of spread apart and you guys got surrounded. So I think those are the small teamwork that just needs to get ironed out in the future. Game 2 was very impressive. Game 3, I like. Oh, one more question, Sir Malagan. So game number 2, you did the mine drop, right? And so you took 4 mines, and then you had a medevac, and you boosted it across, which did a lot of damage, right? Game number 3, you did the same thing, except instead of making a medevac first, you made a liberator first.
Yep, that was a mistake actually.
Okay.
When it popped out, I was like, oh my gosh, a liberator came out.
Yeah, because I was wondering, because instead of medevac, I said, I hope, plus it takes longer for liberator to make. I hope he thinks that medevac will come out quickly, but that really delayed that push as well,
Oh yeah,
right?
it did.
Okay, so that was just a mistake. I was just wondering what the thought behind was.
Liberator
it
scared me a little though.
Yeah, I was like, oh shoot, the Liberator. You know what? Let's just go. What's the point?
All right, and Mizelle, game number 2 you did
Right.
mech. Are you more comfortable with mech than in bio, especially in these games?
Yeah, I go always mech, especially against Zerg.
Ah, gotcha. But game number
And
2
yeah.
is against Taren still.
Yeah, and also we weren't expecting KJ to go for Zerg third game, so it was like, oh no, we're not
We
prepared.
ran out of builds, man. We can't go all 3 games. We only had 2 builds.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the game
we got, I mean, the Little Reaper did a good job there with that Prism Harass. That really cost us a lot. I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, he's the one that won game 3. That was actually, I was like, oh, you got this.
Yeah, Little Reaper. Actually,
Reaper did a good
another thing about game 3 is we overreacted to KJ's drone pull. I was like, okay, they're going all in.
Oh.
Only to
Oh,
find
yeah.
out there was a gold. I thought the gold base was just in the middle. I didn't know about that gold base on. Oh my gosh, near the ramp.
That makes sense.
Ah, okay. So I misread that. When I was casting, I said, all right, there's the big tell right here with the big drone pole going in the middle of the map where the gold base is. They should know that this is a gold base opener. They should try to punish this with just Hellions, and that should be easy. And then instead, I saw 2 bunkers being made. I'm like, wait,
Yeah,
what?
we reacted. Oh shoot,
Bad.
they're coming!
Bad.
And I went for tanks. Yeah, I went
Sorry,
for
that's
tanks.
gotta be the funniest thing I've heard.
Then when we saw the gold base, oh, I had to cancel my bunker. Oh, okay, it's not a push.
Okay, that was hilarious,
Alright.
man.
But yeah, so from then on, it went downhill because, you went to try to punish the gold, but then you lost your entire army. And because you lost your entire army, at the same time, Little Reaper did a War Prism harass, which decimated your economy severely. Even losing your CC there in your natural. And I think from then on, it was just downhill.
Yeah, downhill. There's no way to catch up there.
All right, so good games. Congratulations to Little Dom. Little Reaper, why are you bullying these uncles?
I know, right? Be gentle.
Too strong.
Unmute, Alex.
So Little Reaper, were you like trying to do a coin flip on which uncle you want to bully with your War Prism harass? Is that what happened?
Unfortunately, that was me.
Alright, can't hear Little Reaper.
Yeah, I think he's still muted.
Still muted? Yeah, he's still muted on... Oh no, he's not. Can you... There we go.
How about that? There you go.
There we go. So Little Reaper, how do you decide who you're gonna go harass and send a lot of zealots? You just whoever you sees, or
I didn't really care. I just sent them.
And then-
sent them to the natural bases, so whoever was left was gonna get bullied.
and then I saw you warped in like 20 DTs. Were you having fun at that point? It's like, all right, I'm just gonna make a lot of DTs, even though they have 4 Ravens.
Because we thought it's going to be DP.
He ran his headset says he ran out of batteries.
Okay.
Oh, that's why.
There it
Okay.
is. He's charging it. He's charging it.
Ah, gotcha. All right. Well, game number 1 and 2, you guys planned on going full air. Was that the plan for games 1 and 2, Little Reaper?
Yes.
Gotcha. And then, were you the one telling your KJ Freedom to go Zerg on game number 3 to make sure you guys don't lose?
No.
No, we only had like one build, so we did it twice already. We can't do it 3 times. So
Got it.
that would have been dumb. And in the third game, honestly, I think they gave us the game. I didn't have to do anything in that game. It was Little Reaper that really took care of it. They hurt themselves by. Now I find out that my drone pool scared the heck out of them. So I didn't have to do anything really. Little Reaper then just like asked like, "Hey, just go and then let me catch up," And he just, I was like, "Oh, he's taking care of it." I was like, "All right, cool, you got it."
Yeah, it wasn't a ZVZ where you can build your spines on the other base.
Yeah.
So I mean,
didn't-
it
that's
was
the last
really
thing.
the only play there was whenever you see that it's a gold. I mean, it's a gold base transfer, right? And if you look at the map, I'm like, oh, there it is. There's one right in the middle.
Yeah,
But
for
it was
some
just funny
reason
that
they thought it was a
yeah.
drone pull, I guess. So that's kind of funny. So they hurt themselves on that game. I didn't really have to do anything, and of course, Little Reaper took care of everything else. I didn't barely
Yeah,
have to
it
do
was-
anything. So
It was a perfect timing by Little Reaper with the Zealot Warpins because they just both Benzel players lost all their army trying to take that gold away. And right after they lost all their army, the Zealots warped in and they had no units. And then the DTs come in, they had 2 Ravens,
Actually,
but they had no
4, I think.
army.
3
Well,
or
yeah,
I think
both of you
3.
had a Raven each.
Yeah.
Right? At that point when the DT showed up. We're just like, all right, they got this. They have a Raven. But then if you look, there's no ground army. And so he had to fight with an SCV. And that's how you lost all your SCV. So both Benzel players were struggling to stay above double-digit SCV.
Yeah, it was crazy.
But yeah, so good job, Little Reaper, with those DT harass. It was the perfect time to do so. And then followed up by charge slots. And so
No,
you
it
guys
was-
are...
It was the charge lots first, then the DTs.
Well, yeah, but by the time the first DTs came, you guys had Ravens. But
Yeah.
you just had nothing to kill them with. That's all.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
Yep. Because the
Uh,
Zealots already wrecked us.
yeah, and then
Yeah.
another funny moment. If you want to do some cuts on the replay on here, other funny moment is the Warp Prism, Little Reaper, was warping in 20 Zealots, and he warped it in, and then transformed out to reposition, and
And it
then one of
cancelled?
the Ravens disabled it. But it's already transformed out. It's already.
oh,
Yeah.
just barely missed it, huh?
Well, it wasn't close actually if you watch it.
Oh,
But
okay.
yeah, so I'm like, all right, I'll attribute that to ping. But it was just funny because the Zealots were done and then it was coming in. So it was a good game by Little Reaper, good game by Little Dom. They're now 3-0. And oh no,
Nice.
they're not 3-0. They're
No, no,
2-1. 2-1.
2-1.
And Benzel here is unfortunately dropping to 0-3. There's still a lot of games this
0-3?
season.
0-3,
Yes.
0-2, right?
I-
We only lost twice.
Let's take a
We
quick
only
peek
lost
here.
to.
Here you
Here
go.
you
Let's
go.
look at
Fires.
the,
Thanks for it.
And
Did we
Tortoise
lose
and
3
Hare.
times? Oh, that's right.
Yeah, so you've lost against the Purifiers
That's
the
right.
second night,
Mhm.
and then you lost against Tortoise and Hare 2-1, right? With that, they have that lurker air
Yeah, that's
toss.
right.
And now losing tonight, that drops you to 0-3. So you still have a long way to go. There's some other players, but you haven't played GG Izzy yet. You haven't played Kodayo yet. And you're gonna need to win those games to stay in the playoff hunt. So
Tough games, man.
Good
yeah,
game.
those are gonna be tough games.
Well
All
played.
right, good games. Let's move on to our Code S match.
Malaga, you gonna co-cast this with Seth?
Let's do it, man. All right, looks like they've done their vetoes, and we can talk about their veto selection with them. Let's see, let's bring them in. Let's see if we can chat with them right now. All right, moving on to Code S match, the primetime match of the night. Joining us now, we have both Ghost Chant and Dark Menace. So Dark Menace is the #1 seed the past 2 seasons. Just 1 game short of winning the championship last season, but he's held that #1 seed for a long time. And facing against Ghost Chant, who's first time playing in 1v1 this season. And that first game he had last week was very impressive. And so that's why I've been looking forward to this match all week. But let's see what let's hear what they have to say. So let's start with Ghost Chant. Ghost Chant, how are you first of all? And how have you been preparing for tonight's game?
I've been preparing by being very ill, both me and my son.
Oh
So,
no.
I actually had some practice time set up with some guys I used to play with back when I was considerably better that I didn't get to use at all because I was sick. So I'm playing this one by the seat of my pants. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. I guarantee you that. But yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. It's already you got your work cut out for you already, but it's gonna make the difficulty rating higher. It's gonna be one of those like the Jordan flu game, right? You're just gonna have to draw it deep from you and see what you can come up with. Now, facing against Dark Menace. Dark Menace, have you scouted your opponent and what have you done to prepare for that?
I mean, to be honest, there wasn't too much to scout. I didn't really see. Hello? Okay.
Yes.
I mean, to be honest, there wasn't really much to scout. I couldn't really find anything, and I was able to. I scouted.
Alright. Okay. So it's breaking up for me for Dark Menace. But another question is, how do you think you're gonna fare tonight against matched up against Ghost Chant?
I have completely no idea, cause I mean, I haven't been doing too well against Taren recently, so I'm not sure how well to do against him.
Okay. Sir Maligant, if you're here, do you have any questions here for our players? I think we lost Sir Maligant here.
Yep, I'm sorry, I wasn't mute.
There.
Yep. All good. Yep, looking forward to this game, man.
You're looking forward to this. KJ Freedom, do you have any questions here for our players?
No, but my commentary is we have, I think, the best Zerg in the league right now. Dark Menace facing who I think he's in form could be the best Taran. So whether or not he's in shape at the moment, I think if it has his peak, he's up there with Dark Menace or even surpass him. But he doesn't seem to be at his peak, but who knows?
Yeah, so we
Best
have,
of three,
like we
so.
said, best of their respective races. I wish this game, if I'd known this, I would have probably scheduled this later on in the season, right? But unfortunately, we're going to have this earlier. But it's good for us. We get to watch it, and we're going to see who's going to be at top of their game at this point. Although I know Ghost Chant's a little bit under the weather, but the games must go on. So with that, we're going to start our game. We're going to talk to both of you after the match. Good luck and have fun, gentlemen. And we're going to mute and deafen you.
There you go, Maligant. Seth,
All right.
take it away.
Who's our observer? We're missing
Yeah,
the lobby.
do I get the regular observer or do I get KJ Freedom? Which one do I need to get?
There we go. We have Rip Me. Who's Rip Me?
The production's computer doesn't move, so yeah, it's the same one.
All right,
Okay.
so it's all right. Rip
All right.
me. We're just waiting for him to join the lobby.
It says my status is locked. Let me have to relog on there. I'll be on a second.
So who do you think, Seth? Who do you got?
So the thing about Dark Menace is that I think this is one of his better matchups. Contrary to what he's saying that he's scared about Taran, but I think this is one of his better matchups. And so, as long as Ghost Chant doesn't overextend, doesn't put himself in the middle of the map unnecessarily and get surrounded, I think Ghost Chant is pretty good in control and setting himself up in the right positions. So we'll see where they're at in that respect, right? If Ghost Chant is just caught in the middle of the map, loses as an army, then I think it's downhill from there. But if Ghost Chant positions himself with tanks really well, sieges key locations, I think he can do really well in this matchup.
Yeah.
You are
Because he's a
watching
bio player,
FSL
right?
Yeah, he's a bio player. But the game has started. Been waiting for this all week. On the top right corner of 2,000 atmospheres, the Zerg player.
Dark Menace.
Alright, and our Taran player on the bottom left, he's playing with a flu. Let's see how he does. It is
Ghost Chant.
Alright, this is a small map, so...
Well, actually, it's one of the bigger maps, right? This is
Oh, I'm sorry.
2,000
yeah,
atmospheres.
that's right.
This is pretty balanced map among all the races. It's one of the most chosen races,
Map,
chosen map in the map pool. So I'm glad that we're starting off with this map. You know, not one of those maps that I'm like, hey, that map is Zerg favored, or hey, that map is Taren favored. This is a pretty balanced map, so I'm excited. Standard opener here for the Taren player. Just barracks into gas. Same thing for Dark Menace. He's gonna be dropping down his spool. There it is. So, and then right immediately after that is the gas. So these are pretty standard openers. Nothing fancy. I think Ghost Chan is just gonna wait for his Reaper to scout. He's not gonna send an SCV. That SCV is just for the natural expansion. This is your typical textbook Reaper expand build for Terran, right? So the reason you do a Reaper first, right, because the Reaper can keep you safe from any quick links if they, you know, do any shenanigans like that. The Reaper can micro it because the links won't have speed at that point, and you can protect your expansion. So this is a standard build here.
Yeah, I bet you they're gonna be most likely a mid macro game because this is more of like, oh, I want to feel how you play. You know how it is with you players.
Yeah.
We haven't played with it with someone.
Yeah, I mean, everything is meta. Yeah, the Dark Menace usually likes to take his third around the 213, 220 mark, right? And so right on cue, there's his third. And then this is your classic meta dance of Reaper and Lynx, right? Because when they come in, the queens are gonna pop out, and the queens will drive off the Reaper. The Reaper should escape if he goes southbound and drops down a no, he does not drop a grenade. So the only question, the only question here is either if the Reaper is going to pick off that first creep tumor that the Zerg puts down, but looks like he didn't go for it. And so the creep tumor will be finished. So nothing out of the ordinary here. 1-1-1 start here for Ghost Chant.
Yeah, I like what Ghost Chant did with the Reaper. He didn't force it, not forcing like one drone kill. Instead, he just went in for a quick look, see what's up, and even sees the third base.
Yeah, I mean the third is pretty much natural, right? It's normal. The thing he was looking for, which most Terran players at this point, at this stage of the time of the game, is are there any Roach Warren?
Yep.
Right, and so that's why he went all the way in the back.
Yeah.
Right? Any Roach Warrens there? Nothing. Okay, I'm safe. That means I can just go through my regular progressions. I'm gonna make my 2 Hellions. I'm gonna make my wall in the front using a third CC to complete that wall, right? And so these are all meta starts here. I mean, this is pretty standard. That wall is complete. That's why they use the CC, because it's big enough and it covers that entire area where you don't need to build all these buildings. At the same time, your CC has started, right?
Yep.
Alright, so the links are gonna delay this just a bit, but he's gonna lose these links though.
Nice.
Well, most of it. He picks off 2 workers, which is really nice for Dark Menace. Alright, Roach Warren will start, and I believe this is probably just a defensive Roach Warren. I don't know if he's going to be using that offensively. I don't know if he's gonna start preparing.
Look at that. Like, love the walling of Dark Menace there. Making sure that it doesn't get in.
Ooh, nice snipe on the creep tumor. He's gonna get the second one. There, he gets a second one.
Oh, get up! Get out of there!
Yeah, he does lose.
Pull it out.
Yeah, he does lose 2 Hellions for it though. So unfortunately, that was not a good trade.
Liberator, nice. Good harass.
Alright, so let's see Dark Menace multitasking here. The Liberator's been sieged at the same time. Ghost Chant is gonna hit the third. Is he gonna pull enough on time? No, he does not notice.
Nice. He killed 8 already. 9 workers.
Yeah, so
not bad.
But he's gonna lose most of these Hellions. But you know, he did do a good job taking out all of those drones. The last one does survive. So yeah, this is one of those classic Terran moves that they do at this stage of the game, where he just queues the Liberator to the main base, And while that is queued, you don't have to worry about it. Then you jump in the third with your Hellions, right? And so it really taxes the Zerg to be able to multitask, to be able to defend. It's a lot harder for the Zerg than the Terran. And looks like, Dark Menace, just a small moment of inattention there on the main base. Him with that losing 9 drones. It's
Yeah.
not the end of the world, but 9 drones are pretty expensive, right?
Yeah, he's still ahead. Look at that. 60 drones. Wow.
Yeah, 1-1 is on the way for both. The Terrans are a little bit ahead than the Zergs. Now here are the 3 barracks. Normally at this time they start dropping their extra barracks. And there it is. He's gonna go up to 6 barracks, looks like. And he's just gonna go barracks, bio with tank. So Medevac hasn't started though. He does have the money. I wonder why he's holding off on the Medevacs.
Yeah, he needs some medivacs. You're right. No
Yeah, he
star.
does.
Oh, he does have a starport.
Yeah, he does have it. He already has the reactor. There it is. I think
There
he's
you
just a
go.
little bit late. Probably going through his progression is one of the later part of his progression. But here's the Hydralisk Den is already done.
Wow.
He's taking
Fifth.
his 5th already. So at this stage of the game, it's now the onus on the Taran to siege the 4th of the Zerg, right? The problem here is there's 2 fourths. You're gonna have to choose one side or the other, either the 12 o'clock or the 3 o'clock, right? But at this stage, this is when they start sending their bio, the tank, and they start sieging that. You need to cancel or dislodge one of those. And if you do not, you're gonna fall behind, right? And I think he's already falling behind. Now,
Yeah.
Ghost Chan is not too far behind though, but his upgrade, he hasn't kicked off his +2 yet. He should have already at this point, since he already has an armory. There it is. There's the +2.
Wow,
Alright.
look at Dark Menace is already at 80 workers. That's 8 minutes. Wow. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
Alright, here it is. He's now sending a drop ship on the left side. He's gonna do a double drop, seeing if he can get something done, anything, because he's gonna need to do something to slow down the Zerg at this point, right?
Yeah, keep the Zerg busy.
He's gonna start clearing the creep in preparation for a push, I'm guessing.
He's
But
gonna lose everything though.
no, he can just
Pull it
pick up
up.
easily.
Yep.
Yeah,
Put it up. Get out
So-
of there.
yeah, he just wants to pick off the creep tumor. But here's the queen to replenish the creep tumor. Right, there's the push. He decides to go on the push on the 3 o'clock.
Yeah, it's not
Just
not enough. Look at that.
yeah.
It's such a small army.
Yeah, but he's gonna do that with the same timing with that left
With that-
side
yeah.
double medevac harass, right? So if this is when a Zerg needs to know how to split up his army well. Okay.
Look at that. Dark Menace is so ready.
Yeah, he's actually Ghost Cat is showing his marines. It was like, I'm over here, I'm over here.
Yeah, but
Yeah, but
Dark Menace is not buying it. Look at that. He's just
yeah, he's not
he has,
biting.
he has troops to the right as well.
Alright, no, so there's the oh no!
Oh no!
That's he was a little bit late on the pickup. Now he does save half of the Marines. So it's not the end of the day, but he could have got away with 0 losses there. Alright. So this is what I was talking about in the very beginning of the game, right? This is when Ghost Chant starts attacking or moving his army out, and he can easily get surrounded here, right?
Yeah, he's gonna lose this army for sure. Even the tanks.
Yeah, but he can pick up these. He's gonna just go back. He's gonna lose a tank, so he saves the Marines. He's gonna pick them up again, and yeah, that's it. But that was not his biggest. That's not all his army, right? He still saved most of his army back there, but he has to make sure he micros here against all of these banelings. Is he gonna split properly? He splits most of the Marines. Nice split. Takes care of the Marines.
The tank's he's gonna lose a tank.
But yeah, there's just not enough units here. And there it is, GG. Yeah, so this is what I was talking about the 4th base. If you do not set the Zerg back on that 4th base, they will just get out of hand and out of control, and that's what happened there. Right? Yeah. Yeah, and I think the siege on the 4th base was really late. Could have gone a little bit earlier, and he has to. The onus is on the Terran. The Zerg doesn't have to go attack yet, right?
Yeah. Alright, let's see how Ghost Chant adjusts to the gameplay of Dark Menace.
All right, so it's a convincing victory there for Dark Menace. Right, he's just doing the basic.
Oh, Hardwire, this is the small one.
Yeah.
Small map, so let's see if we see some aggressions here early.
Yeah, and in the pro games you see a lot of Terrans because of the way this map is configured with a lot of chokes, a lot of bridges. You see a lot of Terrans go mech, and this mech map. Work. Oh, all right. Ghost Chan says 1 second.
So this is a good mech map, you're saying?
Well, I don't know about good mech map, but in the pro games, I've seen Terrans do mech on this map more than other maps, and I think because of the way the maps are laid out, where it's it has all these choke points. So if you set up tanks and then high grounds, and then you move methodically, it really favors mech compositions, right? But I doubt Ghost Chant will go mech on this map. Although this is Dark Menace's pick, right? So looking at the map vetoes, the 2000 atmospheres was chosen by Ghost Chant, and Hardwire is Dark Menace's pick. Ghost Chant vetoes Berlingrad, but the funny thing is, if you look at the hold on, let me get Ghost Chant in here. Funny thing is, Dark Menace vetoes Pride of Alteris. Pride of Alteris is a very Zerg favored map, and I wonder why he vetoed that in the end. All right, but I think we're ready. Let's get this started. Game number 2. One of the more anticipated matchups early in the season.
Yeah, I think Ghost Chant needs to really pressure Zerg here. You can't let Zerg get out of hand like that.
Yeah, I mean, everything he did for the first 5 minutes was to the T. It's meta. It's, at that point, when Zerg is trying to take their 4th, you really have to do something about it. Yeah. And he didn't. He let the Zerg take the 4th, take the 5th, and got 90 drones, and that was pretty much it.
Yeah, 90 to 80 drones in 8 minutes.
Alright, down 0-1. Our yellow Taren, he is
Ghost Chant.
Alright, our Zerg player on the bottom left. Let's see if he closes this one out. It is
Dark Menace.
Let's see if a Dark Menace goes for a rush here.
It doesn't look like it. I think he's saving up for a hatchery. He's just gonna go hatch first. I think we're gonna have the same opener here for both. It's gonna be just hatch and then pool and then gas for the Zerg, and then for the Terran player, he's gonna make his typical Reaper expand. Yeah, so he's gonna make one Reaper here. That SCV that's making the barracks is gonna go down. It's gonna do a mine on one of the minerals, and then Q to start making the CC. Right, so there it is.
Yep, right there.
Right, so, yeah, these are all standard openers for both. This opener has been pretty much mapped out in the pro levels. And there it is, just spawning pool and gas for the Zerg. So same opener for both. I think really is the turning point in that game is when the Zerg just was left to their own devices, getting their 4th, getting their 5th.
Yeah.
And then that's it. You're not gonna be able to outproduce a Zerg at that point. You have to be so cost efficient, right? And there were some battles that he was not. The Banelings hit a big chunk of army, and that was it.
Yeah, and he pushed with a weak army actually. If you look at his composition, it wasn't that much. I mean,
Yeah, there's a
He would.
bulk of the army still left behind that was rallied in front of his
Yeah.
base, and he didn't send them all. So yeah, he got caught in the middle, and it was downhill from there. All right,
Here
so
comes the scout.
same dance here. The Reaper's gonna go check the natural. Around the same time, Queens are gonna pop out. Let's
Look at that.
see if he commits. Oh, this is actually a good catch if he can get this.
Oh,
He
nice.
got it! Alright, this is a small victory here for Ghost Chat because he's gonna get this drone and
Nice.
prevent Dark Menace because remember he likes to take that third around 213, 220 mark.
Yeah.
So now we're at the 240 mark. He does not have a third. Right? This is big for Ghost Chat. At the same time, it's the same thing for
Oh,
Ghost
and he's
Chats across the map.
and he's gonna take this Overlord. Nice.
Ah, nice. Let's see. Is he gonna make it up in that high ground in time?
I don't think so.
Alright.
It's
So he's
gonna
gonna
be
take
close.
his third. He's gonna need to starter step in there.
Go.
One more hit. Two more hits.
Oh my
Alright.
gosh.
All right.
Maybe
so,
if he pushed forward first, or I think he would have taken that. But yeah, it's okay.
all right. So let's see. Oh, that's
Yeah.
a really. You know what? This is a Hellbot push
Oh.
because that's
He's
a
going
very
for
early
that armory.
armory. I think, although there is there's no starport. So I'm wondering.
Is he
Right,
gonna
because
just walk it?
yeah, this is actually weird because I think he's gonna make enough Hellions. Yeah, there's a starport. It's pretty late.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to build your starport. You don't need to. I mean, you build that starport earlier than this. I mean, you don't want to build that armory earlier than the starport because it won't. It'll finish quickly and you won't have medivacs. So such is the case now. So if you want to time this out, you make the starport first and then you make the armory. So that way, while your medivac is building, then your armory is building, and that'll finish around the same time. And you push, and you're on the other side of the map. Your armory's done. You make the Hellbats, and you have a medivac, right? So all
Yeah.
of the timing is off here. I think he's going to poke in just like last time. Maybe Dark Menace does not get wind that there is an armory, because if the problem here is if you do not have Banelings or Roach Warren, Lings
this is
are terrible,
terrible, yeah.
against.
They can be roasted links.
Yeah, but he's not committing yet. He doesn't want to give. Yeah, there are roaches on the way now, but so he cannot wait that long.
Yeah, he needs to
There it
make
is.
something up. There you go.
Right, so now Dark Menace has to kite. Where is the medivac? The medivac is so far away. Yeah, so this is where, everything matters here, right?
Oh.
Yeah, so because he made the starport too late,
Yeah, he couldn't.
yeah,
No
it's
support.
yeah, that means he couldn't dive in that early.
Yeah.
And so now he's gonna have to abandon this. He does lose 4 Hellions. Alright, though, so this does force a lot of units for Dark Menace, which is good. Because see, if you look at the worker supply, at this point last game, right, he was already at 60, 70 workers. Instead, he's only at 38, behind Ghost Chat. So all Ghost Chat has to do now is survive the counter. That's when you need to have a tank, right?
Yeah. Here
And
we go.
Here we
That's
go.
a lot.
Yeah, you
Needs
need
a
to have a
tank
tank,
here.
but the tank is very late. The tech lab is just started or just finished.
Oh, close that. There we go.
Alright, tank is in production. I think he just needs 1 tank. And yeah, so any moment he buys here is good for Ghost Chant, right? Because he has 3 CCs. Dark
Yeah.
Menace.
Oh man, look at that. The
Yeah.
army count is.
Yeah, he can't
half.
go up there.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a good micro here, but he does need a tank. The tank
Where's the
is
tank?
popping out now. He needs to siege it
don't-
behind the lines.
Siege.
No,
Oh, he's gonna give it
no.
away.
No, he's gonna pick it
Oh,
up.
there, nice. Good pickup there. Good
He
save.
race- So he needs to raise that.
Good save. Good save.
Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of micro here for, for that 1 tank.
Yeah.
All right, so I mean, he's
Oh.
okay. He's not the end of the world, but
You see, he's making another. Oh, he lost the tank. So I think this is it, man.
well, no, another
Much.
tank is coming out, but he is losing too much.
Yeah,
Too
he
many
lost
workers.
21 workers. Wow. This is
Yeah.
just hard to come back. Because look at that. Zerg is already sitting with 3 bases.
Yeah.
57 workers. Oh,
Yeah, this
wow.
is really painful.
So let's
Now,
see.
he's gonna clean this one up.
Yeah, but it's
But-
too late. I mean, it's not too late, but it's just no way to come back from this.
Well, as long as he stabilizes, he does have 3 CCs. Now, although...
Ooh, nice connect on the mine.
Yeah, Dark Menace does have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bases, you know, incoming. So he's gonna clean up here. He's gonna have to just keep making SCVs from those 3 CCs. So having 3 CCs is not the end of the world for him, right? He can remake the SCVs, and he has a good tech, right? The problem here for Dark Menace is his tech is not as good. He doesn't have upgrades, and he's still producing Marines, which is not. I mean, Zerglings, which is actually not good. This is the time that you get your 80 drones, get Banelings,
Yeah.
and make sure you don't die to the counter push, right? Alright, so he's way behind here, but he stopped making SCVs. Alright, there's one
Yeah,
SCV.
18 workers against 62. Up here comes the Banelings.
Yeah.
Oh boy, a trickle of units.
So the Dark Menace cannot get too carried away here on trying to attack. Because if he attacks here and he does not do enough damage, or he loses all his army,
yeah,
that's the way for
counter.
Ghost Chance to come
Ooh,
back.
I like this one. Drop. Nice.
Yeah, so he's gonna drop. It's gonna... Wait, is he gonna bring the entire army back?
Did Dark Menace see the dropship? No, I don't think. I think he's just pulling back just to regroup.
Alright, so he's gonna snipe this one queen. Well, no, he's not. But he needs to get out of there now. No, he didn't pick up. Alright.
Saves
so
half of it.
Saves half of it. Alright, so Ghost Chant stopped producing SCVs. So
SCVs.
yeah. So that's one it's gonna be the downfall here, because you know your economy is nowhere near where it should be.
Yeah.
Alright, so he's gonna do another drop on the left side. Alright, so he's gonna move that CC in position now, and he's gonna remake SCVs again. Alright, this is a good move here. Is he gonna get that one queen? He's not even gonna get that queen. He's gonna pick up here. No, it doesn't pick the rest. And then the other one gets thwarted as well. So, okay. So this drop play has a timer, and the timer is about to expire because mutas are gonna be joining the fray here.
Yeah,
And
look at that. Ghost Chant just stopped making SCVs.
Yeah,
For
I
some
think he's
reason.
pretty much all in here. He's like, alright, I just need units. I need to make units as much as possible. Problem here is there's just too much Zerg, right?
Yeah.
Um,
It's just 98 army supply versus 52.
yeah, I think this game might end pretty soon here. That third base is gonna get taken out rather. No, he gets to lift it. The mutas can start shooting at it, but I don't think it will. It's just gonna
Oh
stay
my
back.
gosh, look at how.
Oh, that's a good mine hit, but I don't think there's enough.
Yeah.
Too much Zerg here, and this will conclude our Code S match. We do have a lot to ask.
GG.
Dark Menace takes a commanding 2-0 victory. Right.
Dark Menace.
Good games, gentlemen. Let's start with Ghost Chant. So Ghost Chant, I do have to ask about that second game.
So that second game, let me stop you there.
Yep.
Thought that was a starport. I was just going, I didn't even look at it. I had stuff rallied going, and I was like, cool. Dropped the building, went on about my business. I looked back when it was about 3/4 of the way done, and I was like, oh, that's an armory. I was like, I guess I'm doing it. Okay. So
yeah,
no wonder.
Yeah, we were talking about it, and in the cast I mentioned, typically I I thought were you planning to do a Hellbat push, or you just did it because you had an armory
I
at
did
that
it
point?
because I had the armory and no starport. I was like, oh, okay, I guess I'm doing this.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Yeah, because when we were talking about it, I said, hey, I think he's gonna do a Hellbat push, but where is the starport? You need that starport. And when you did the Hellbat push and the medevac was so late, you couldn't jump in and transform. You were waiting for your medevac. But that time, it gave him plenty of time to make roaches and be able to counter it. So unfortunately, it turned out that way. Game number 1 was actually neck to neck up until Zerg got out of hand with their 5th and 6th bases.
So, game number 1 was super rough. Super rough. To start off, so my factory was late with the tech lab, super late. Like that was supposed to have landed immediately after swapping off the barracks. That thing was floating for a while. I never started the reactor on the starport, which I was supposed to swap to my 3rd racks. Actually, like I just want to say I was probably about 40 seconds late on everything. It was rough.
Yeah, I think it really showed because in that type of a meta game, around the time when the Zerg is taking their 4th is when the Taren starts pushing and try to cancel that 4th. But like what you said, everything was 40 seconds late, and so by the time you went to push for that 4th, you're 40 seconds late. There is so much Zerg already, and there's no way you can take a foothold in that 4th, especially the creep being pushed out that far already. So yeah, I think it was just a race where you started off behind and there was no way to catch up at that point. He was maxed out by the time he starts sieging. So yeah.
Funny story, I was actually supposed to be doing the same build because I was feeling a little better. I was feeling a little warmed up. I was looking at the last match. I was like, okay, it wasn't ideal, but I was like, cool. I'm a little warmed up now. I should do better. And then I had that gaff with the starport, and I was like, oh, okay, well that's
Yeah. Well, the good thing is that this was only regular season, right? And so you have a feel on how he plays, and if you face him in the playoffs, you'll have a better idea. Like the 49ers beat the Rams twice in the regular season, and then they fell in the playoffs. So regular season won't matter as much as long as you handle business in the rest of the games, and you guys can face again in the playoffs. So
I have a question on to Ghost Chant. So the first game, he roasted 9 workers, and it was really good. However, instead of pulling out, he just kind of lost everything else, including the Liberator. Was that just something you couldn't control, or what happened there?
So the Liberator, I did not look back. I thought I'd repositioned the Liberator on the Queen, and I was hoping he was too distracted doing stuff with the drones to notice. And I looked back, and I was like, either I mispositioned it or he moved the Queen. It was really that simple. I popped over.
Okay. Yeah, I saw he did he positioned it. You killed a lot, and then he moved it away, and then he handled that really well. But he did lose a lot of workers with your Hellions. However, your Hellions kind of stayed too long, I think. What do you think about that situation? Because I felt like you were in a good spot if you kept those units.
I think I misplaced the Reaper grenade. I should have got out of there with more stuff intact.
Got it. Yeah, it was
definitely
9.
like I definitely should have got out with more stuff intact than that. The misplaced Reaper grenade, I should have bounced a few more lings, and I should have been able to skate out of there, roast a few more lings, and maybe lost another Hellion. But yeah, that was just, again, I was feeling a little.
Amazing how little things like that kind of makes the game completely different, because you save that Liberator, that thing comes back, does more damage. You save your Hellions, then he's not so comfortable. He takes another base, and then But
the other ones
things.
too is when he started poking with some drop marines left and right.
That's in game 2. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, just small controls here and there where you're facing like all these banelings rolling towards you, and you're trying to pick up, but you only picked up half, right? And so those small things, they add up, as opposed to you still have a full medevac full of marines that can keep coming back. Right, and like what KJ said, these things, small things, just started adding up, and then by the time you know it, you look up and there's a huge Zerg swarm in front of your base because they were just left to their own devices. So that was a good game. It's nice to see both, a really high meta level game from both of you. Just small mistakes here and there that can be ironed out easily. Like before we started the interview, you already knew what you did wrong, right?
Yeah, these two are like high level, honestly, because they know what they did wrong. It's some mechanical things here or there, so we can expect really good games when they do meet again, hopefully in the playoffs. So I'm excited to see them again. I mean, Dark Menace performed pretty well, taking care of the Liberator. Did lose a lot of workers, but he really just he loves this kind of game where he's macroing, right? I mean, Malagat knows that when he plays him. I know that when I play him. So he's like, oh, this is the game I want. And then, of course, when you're doing the Hellbat push and it doesn't get anything done, we already know how that works out. So it's tough. It's rough.
Was so sad. I was so sad when I saw that because I've been trying to work Hellbat pushes in, and it has never worked. I've tried so many different variations on it, and I'm like, this is just bad. And when that happened, I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I've tried different Hellbat pushes, incorporating a Marauder in there with concussive shell, incorporating different things. And I'm like, it's hard to pull off. But when I saw it, I was like, all right, this is a Hellbat. Oh wait, where is the starport? And so, but yeah, I mean, it's a good game.
It's still fun
a
to
good
watch
match.
and see
Fun
what
to
could
watch.
have been and small things like that. It's very educational for us. So
Yeah. All right, congratulations to Dark Menace. So Dark Menace, I think you were just going through your basic build and just reacting to what you see. So what was going through your mind through both games?
Well, I guess mostly just the fact that I kind of was playing bad, but like I kept on getting supply blocks or those Hellions killed a bunch. I kind of had a bad game, so I wasn't really thinking about anything else.
That's good. That's good. Were you what were you thinking of when he saw the Hellions? Did you expect the Hellbats at that point? Because I know when you saw the Hellions, you started making a bunch of roaches.
Well, to be honest, well, just started with my roach and it just finished, and I was supply blocked then, so I kind of got panicked and held down the roach key, but I think I overreacted. I don't think I should have, but no, I wasn't suspecting any Hellbats.
Okay, gotcha. But yeah, I mean it's a good call. You made enough roaches, and the medevac came late, so he couldn't go and commit yet. And so I think that was a good move by you. And then from then you just countered, and he was far behind at that point. So good job, Sir Malaga. Do you have any questions here for both our players?
No, well, pretty much a good game, guys. I mean, Ghost Chant really did good start there. He just got, as you said, small things just piled up, snowballed. So yeah, and then I'm impressed with Dark Menace and how he just macros up with 80. What was that? 80 drones in 8 minutes. That was
Game
insane.
one.
Yeah. So good game.
Good games. KJ Freedom, do you have any? Oh, go ahead, Ghost Chant.
No, I was saying that's a really good game, and I gotta be honest, I'm looking forward to playing you again.
Oh yeah, I'm excited to see that too. When you're at your best form, and as Dark Menace says, he's not getting quote supply blocked. He looked like he was not supply blocked with all those 80 workers.
Yeah,
that's probably why he's supply blocked. He made too many workers.
Yeah. Because the onus is on the Taren in those games in that scenario to get them to stop making workers, number one, or to cancel one of their fourth bases, right? And with Ghost Chat saying he was 40 seconds late on everything, well, it's hard to stop or derail the Zerg with being 40 seconds behind. So yeah, if Ghost Chat does he's on form and plays his game, and Dark Menace is on form, that's the kind of game I want to see in the playoffs, right? So good games, gentlemen. I think with that, we're gonna that ends our night. We only have 3 games tonight.
Yeah.
We do have our schedule for next week.
Yeah, let's take a look.
Yeah, let's take a quick peek. So we get Champone against Fenrir. Ooh, that's gonna be pretty good because they're both undefeated in Code B. And Little Reaper and Hyper Turtle. Well, that's gonna be exciting. And then Neutrophil's first game, but this time against the 2-0 Instability.
Ooh, Protoss versus Protoss.
Yeah, well, Neutrophil might play Taren, I don't know. So he's been batting around these different races. So, and then that Friday, we finally get to see Kodayo in their first game of the season against the Purifiers. The reigning champion for 2v2 will play against a tough Purifier team with Cyan and Ghost Chant here. And then also Little Reaper will play again, this time against Mighty Ant. And then Ghost Chat will be playing against Sir Maligat here. So Sir Maligat, you should have been. Well, there's really not much to study since he's playing Zerg, but you will be playing against Ghost Chat on that night.
Nice.
So I think that's pretty much it. We'll update the standings.
And,
And,
one thing, we just got our very first sub to this Trovo channel, courtesy of
Oh.
Kitty Cat Gamer. So maybe Sai, you need to take a look at that subscribe button. That was inadvertently pressed.
Oh wow.
But
Right,
yeah, it goes to DLS Missile. But yeah, pretty exciting games. I'm really looking forward to seeing these players. Looking at the standings, let's take a peek of
Yeah,
for our standings too.
I haven't updated it
Oh,
yet.
he hasn't updated
so...
it yet. So all I have to do is refresh it if you do update real quick.
Yeah.
And right now the 2v2 that changed a little bit, but
Yeah, I updated. Well, no, the 2v2 I haven't updated, but let's update that real
yeah,
quick.
let's update it real quick and see, because everything is important. Every game is important, guys. You know, as the season going, and you don't know that one game is the one that like loses you or you know, gets you out of the playoffs, right?
Yeah, or sneaks
So,
you in.
Yeah, man, that's the key, and I'm excited to see how things work out, right? Last season, you know, the one thing is on the Code S level, instability was last season missed a lot of wins by just very close, right? She lost 1-2. So many games were 1-2. This time she's making sure there's no 1-2. She's 2-0 so far. So
Well, yeah.
starting off
No,
good.
the difference though is the close games she wasn't able to win, but
Last
this
time.
year the
Yeah, yeah.
close games, right? She's able
Close it
to
off.
pull it out, right?
Oh, okay, there you go. So
So,
there you go. And it looks like the it's updated. So let's take a quick peek here again. The 2v2 so far the standings, Little Dom 2-1. Okay, so I guess we played 3 games already.
yes, you
That's
have played 3
amazing.
games.
Yeah, so did Benzel. So everyone's played except for Kodeo. No games yet, but these are the standings. And it's still pretty early. It's hard to say. Although it's tough for Benzel with down 0-3 already, you know. So it's going to be a little tough for them. Especially they haven't even
Yeah.
played the 2 best teams in the league, I think. Which is
Yeah. that's
GG
right.
Izzy and Kodeo. So they're going to have to up their game up a bit.
Yeah, so
on
if
that.
they want to get to the playoffs, they're gonna have to beat those teams. So that's gonna be tough for them. But
Exactly.
they are able to do that, right? Once they get their teamwork down,
Yep.
there's no reason for them not to win those.
Oh
games
yeah,
as
they're
well.
formidable. They're both good players. And
Yeah,
then in
it's just
Code,
so
yeah,
hard
go
to
ahead.
schedule. Hard to schedule games, man.
Practice. Yeah, the
Yep.
practice is rough. So, and then Code B, Fenrir off to a great start, 2-0,
So,
and
nice.
Young Chin Pone right there behind him, and Kitty Cat Gamer having a great season at 1-1 so far.
I'm actually really impressed with how Kitty Cat Gamer has been playing because
That's
you know,
true.
looking at her from last season, right, where she didn't even, you know, she wasn't sure how to use these units and what units to make, and then to play a macro game in one of those games where it gets to the late game, you know, that's really impressive. And so I
That's
like
true.
the way that she's going. So
And even the losses to who did she play? Chin Pone or
Fenrir.
Fenrir? They were just
Yeah.
puzzling because Fenrir was playing so weird, floating buildings and then like kind of choking up, and she was throwing all her units away because she didn't know. Oh,
Yeah.
you can't kill them. You know, these are small things that you gotta go through, and then when you figure it out, well, guess what? She had the lead in those games. So
Yeah. Oh
That's
yeah,
the
she
cool
was
thing about
maxed
that.
out a lot of times, right? It's just the problem was she was running Mutas against Thors, which will never work,
Yep.
right?
And
And
then,
so if she just
yeah.
irons that out, and then she gets to those macro games and she knows what type of units to make, I think she will be fine in this level.
Yeah, Malagat, you saw those games, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those-
And what do you think, Malagat, about Code A standings so far? I'm looking here. Criminal is really doing well.
Man, I have a feeling Criminal's gonna dominate there.
Well, he almost
Give him-
lost his last
give
match,
him, give
right?
him a
But
few matches. Yeah,
That's
give him
true.
a few matches. He's gonna get back in shape.
he is
man.
he is
might
definitely the
dominate it.
favorite here, along with
Yeah.
well, Stu Blue I think should be a lot better. He's just off to a rough start. And then Cyan should be one of the contenders here. And then of course Little Reaper's always throwing problems, right? And then the Archaic,
Yeah, that's true.
of course, the really good players. And Hyper Turtle, Mighty Ant, and Stu Blue, they're kind of kind of enigmas at this point. I can't tell yet. Stu Blue may be the because he moved up right from last season, so he may be the least favored. Well, in Code A.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough for Stu Blue, but he's gonna have to grow quickly here. But I think he should be able to take a map or two from players in this division.
Yeah, definitely.
Little The Archaic did win Code A last season.
Yep.
So he's the reigning Code A champ.
Oh yeah, that's right. He's the champ. He's gonna have a tough time this time.
But Deepu is the one who, I mean, in terms of regular season, but Deepu is the one who won the playoffs and got deep.
Oh yeah,
right?
that's true.
Yeah,
He'll get hot towards the end probably.
So, but yeah, and Science back in this division, you know, it had some taste on Code S, so he should have a lot of experience. Showed in that game today, and you know, he's 1-1. It's early in the season, and you know, we're gonna have to see how this shakes out.
Yeah, he's pretty strong when he gets going. And then, wow, the Code S, that's looking really good. My rankings on this is, I would say Dark Menace, Neutrophil would be the top 2. You don't know exactly how Instability is gonna fare in between there, right? She could be 2 or 3, in my opinion, right? And then, as far as the other players, Malagan could take the 4th spot there out of everyone there, unless I do something about it. Then you have DLS Mizel, who's looking pretty good too in our customs games.
Well, you know who's improved as well that I've noticed is Frieden.
Oh yeah, he has improved quite a bit.
Yeah, his games have been a little bit better now. You know, he didn't win those 2 games, but just comparing how he's played, it's just a lot of improvement in this card.
Yeah,
but yeah, so its abilities, it is 2-0. Was against Hurtin Time and Sir Malagant.
Yep.
So we really will see her form is when she faces against Dark Menace and Neutrophil, and that's when we get to see, you know, where she's gonna stand here. If she beats any one of those or both of those,
well then she's in there. She's in there. If she loses to both of them, she's still probably 3rd or 4th place so far in our rankings. But it's a long season. It's
it's a long.
You can still get up there, man. That's what happened in season 1 of FSL. I think, I think Seth won the whole thing. Came up and won the whole thing or something.
Well, no, that
right?
was season 2. Season 1 was season 1 was Neutrophil.
Okay.
Season 2, I barely edged out Neutrophil in that 7-game finals. And then season 3 was very cool with some really well prepared builds.
That's true.
And then season 4, Neutrophil got it again, just a little bit over Dark Menace this time.
Yeah.
So, and then we'll see you up at season 5.
That's right, guys. Well, that'll do it for tonight. We'll see you guys back on Wednesday with some really good games. Thanks for watching. You're probably most of you watch this from the VOD, so we'll have the VOD up and then the highlights as usual. So that'll do it. Any final thoughts, Sir Malagit?
Yep, all good. Looking forward to next week. New matches.
All right, guys. Yeah, this is looking really good. And you guys have a good time. Have a good weekend. See you all laters.
GG's.
Bye, guys.
GG's. All right, that'll do it. Guys out and